Hello and welcome back to the Metro Grid. My name is Andre. How's it going? I'm joined by tonight by Patrick. Let me just put the volume down, Pat, of the music.
Okay.
I don't think I'm doing this well. Hold on. Oh, it's so... The button is working really slowly.
Okay.
It's going though.
No, you just tell me when.
No, it's okay. Hold on.
Okay.
You can barely hear it at this point.
Okay.
It says 0%, so that's definitely silence. Welcome back to Metro Grid. My name is Andre. How's it going? It is a day in February at this point. It is like the 3rd or 4th or something?
It's the 4th, yeah.
Ah, February 4th. Welcome. And I'm trying to, like most months, with Pat. Always a pleasure. How's it going?
Hi. It's going pretty well. Well, it's going pretty well.
It's going pretty well.
Yeah.
That's good enough, I suppose. We got some Netrunner today. We got some news to talk about. It's gonna be a good night. We're gonna play some games.
Yeah, busy night ahead of us.
Yeah. Yo, Knuckle Guy. Hey, Baza. Happy Thursday. Tempest. Yay. Cheers. How's it going? Welcome to the stream.
Hey, everybody.
How's your week been, Pat? We can ramble. You can talk, I guess, for a bit.
I mean, like we were talking about before, I've just been watching a lot of TV.
That's good.
That's about the extent of it, yeah.
Yeah, that's good enough. It is still lockdown here in Montreal. We've got a fair bit of snow. It's getting really cold. It's a good excuse to not go outside, but I think they're opening up stores again.
They are, even though curfew is still on for another week, I think.
Still can't go to the stores sometimes, but they will be open for you not to go to them.
Yep. The important thing is that it all makes sense.
Yeah, it all makes sense at the end. It's okay. Yo, Chris, what's up? Did you watch The Expanse? I haven't, but I know people like it, and it's science fiction.
I've seen the first season, and I'll get around to the rest eventually.
It was that good?
Yeah, it was good enough that I put it on my list to watch after Snowpiercer, after Ted Lasso, after Sweet Home.
Snowpiercer is now a television series.
That's right. I think I like it more than the movie, which I didn't love when it first came out.
Oh, really? I thought Snowpiercer film was pretty nice.
I mean, I liked it okay. Like, I'm a big fan of that director. And I just feel like, I don't know, for some reason it never worked for me perfectly. Anyway.
Yeah, train films.
The TV show itself is like sometimes almost great, and then something about it, either the acting or the set design or something about it, just always holds it back. Like, this feels a bit cheap sometimes.
I feel like one day, if we could aim for sometimes almost great, we'd be pretty happy with ourselves.
I guess that's okay for most people, but I aim above that.
That's fair.
I have to. Yeah.
Yo, Grim, what's up? Hey, Andre and Pat, are we headed down the left-hand path today? I'm not actually sure if that's an expression or am I missing something. I'm going to say yes and hope that I didn't sign up for something awful.
It's either euphemism or it's the name of a deck on Netrunner DB.
It is
right?
The name of the deck. It's on the screen, actually. This makes sense. It's come together. Yeah, it is the deck list. This is a Quetzal deck that's posted by GingercredMan, having a score of one win, 2 losses at the Oxford GNK. I'm actually excited for this deck. I think it's interesting. I think that they wrote that the deck is not optimized, and I think it's pretty easy to make this deck better, hopefully, with a couple changes. But it's fascinating. It's actually really cool. Chris says, just curious, the 5th season just ended. No, I haven't seen any of it, but that's a lot of it. They want a movie out of this one, right?
I think so. It's also based on the writer's RPG game. Like, that they had such a fun RPG campaign that he basically turned it into a book series and then eventually TV show.
That feels like cheating to me, but I don't think I understand the creative process. Yeah, Knuckle Guy's saying watch The Expanse. It's so good. I was thinking about Raja about it. Is Raja really into it or really not into it? It seems like the latter, right? Tempest says, done the in-faction tournament, placed 10th, pretty happy. Oh, that's the like 5 influence thing? How did that go? Is that what I'm thinking about, that color tournament?
Oh, I didn't know about that.
Yeah, I saw a posting. I was brought up on the stream a couple weeks ago, and if I'm not mistaken, you only have 5 influence.
Interesting.
But you have to play all in faction or something. There was some like interesting. Tempest, can you explain it a bit better? Because I'm like only 80% there, I think. The left-hand path is a reference to some kind of esoteric magic tradition, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, I opened up the wrong window. Hold on. Something's wrong.
Oh, they're seeing behind the screen.
No, they can actually. Only you can, Pat. I've changed my ways.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
In that case, I'll describe in detail what they shouldn't be seeing.
Left-hand path is terminology is used in various groups involved in the occult and ceremonial magic. Okay, yeah, it makes sense with Faust, right? We're making that pactum, which is damn near rectum. That's actually cool.
Come on.
Okay.
I never actually met him.
Oh boy. So this is a cool deck. So in short, We have Quetzal, and Quetzal lets you deal with barriers. And Quetzal is really interesting. We saw some pretty interesting, pretty powerful Quetzal decks. We didn't spend enough time on this channel tuning them, but the idea that break when barrier subroutine gets a lot better with E3 feed implants now being a Salvaged Memories card that you can play. This lets you spend a credit to continue breaking barrier subroutines, so at least once a turn, you can break a whole barrier if it has more than one subroutines, and I think most of them generally do that you care about. Now, the decks that we were playing were doing a lot more painting, and then using cards like, they're using ice destruction to tear down ice and ensuring you only have one ice, and then you can make it a barrier by painting it with Palangi. And with cards like Nabkuri, you can ensure that Palangi has a really, really long shelf life, which is really cool. But this deck says, you know what's a good card? Faust.
Faust.
And they're probably right. Like, the idea with Faust is it gets really, really good mileage. The idea is that if you break a subroutine, it's one card from hand, and from that point on, you just spend a credit or two, and then you can get through some ice for very few cards, which is kind of nice. On top of that, you also have E3 feed implants, which is nice, and then you also have Boomerang. And for what it's worth, I'm not convinced on Boomerang plus E3 feedback implants. I think it's a bit, like, I don't think it's necessary. I don't think there's that much ice.
Going to trigger often enough? Yeah.
Well, I think it's going to trigger, and I think Boomerang's a good card. I think Boomerang's a better card if you have like more powerful run events. Like Boomerang is really good with legwork or stuff like that, like single solid runs, as opposed to like having to use this to get into R&D for medium. I guess you use them more for like charging the remote server, but I just don't think there's enough ice that has 3 subroutines that you need Boomerang and E3 feedback implants. So maybe with Faust, that's what I think is if we can build into the Faust plan a bit more, maybe we can, I don't know, play fewer Boomerangs. But the problem with Faust is once we run out of cards, we run out of the game. So it's going to be an issue. We'll figure it out.
I'd like to talk about the only one of in this deck, which is a card I haven't seen since it was first printed, I think.
Yeah.
I haven't seen showing up anywhere.
It's shown off. It's a card that at this point seems better because medium exists. I think this is probably the first card that get cuts from the deck if we start tuning it.
I was about to say.
Because it's like, I don't know. The idea with showing off, if you don't see how this works, is you get a bunch of medium counters. You see 6 cards from the top of media, from R&D. I don't know, 3 cards from the top of R&D, let's say. And then you do showing off, which is pretty expensive. And then instead you see 3 cards from the bottom R&D, which will be 3 new cards. Now, why I don't like this card is that you have to draw at the right time for it to be good. And even then, like, just running R&D and seeing generally like 1 or 2 more cards if you run back in with medium, assuming you're trashing or stealing a card, a lot of time is better. Like, your cards off the top of the deck are generally better than cards off the bottom of the deck. The only caveat to that is if you're playing against a deck with like Daily Business Show, that's probably specifically bottoming agendas. But this is probably not worth the time or space, but it's really fun that you can get into a deck. Yo, Cody, what up? Sup, fam? Y'all see the Wild article? We're going mainstream now. Yo, actually, we do have it open here, and I haven't fully read it yet. I think Pat might have read it. Question mark?
Yeah, no, I've read it.
Okay, cool. It's dope from what I've heard from it, but the fact that like there is mainstream coverage about Netrunner, I think we're gonna get a bit more used to that because with Gateway coming out soon, I'm assuming more people are going to be talking about it, and you're going to see it show up on like board game articles and board game websites. So that's dope. But this Wired article is less about the game itself and more about the representation in the game, which is fascinating because it actually is a bit more turbulent than it sounds like, right?
Yeah, there's a bit more of an interesting, like, it sounds like battles were going on in the background. But also, like, we're very lucky that, like, it seems like things kind of worked out perfectly to get a very progressive game compared to other games that were being made at the same time.
Yeah,
like,
so
like one thing that they mentioned was that because it was not a licensed IP, they could pretty much do what they wanted with the characters.
Yeah,
and what kind of characters appear in the game. So that was a big deal.
Yeah, the game largely has been like is lauded the good one or is lauded the bad one, but people have been basically praising it for representation, which has been good compared to mostly like compared to card games of its type and its genre, but also due to like the cyberpunk feel. I think this article, and again I haven't read all of it yet, but from what I've gleaned off of it, is like comparing it to Cyberpunk 2077, the video game that just came out like a couple months ago. Like their world representation is a bit more troubled and a bit more problematic in some ways, and Netrunner did a lot of that a lot better, which is really cool to see from a card game. Told you the Cyberpunk 2077 is good for Netrunner. Oh, I believed it. I wish more people liked the game. or you know, whatever. We're not gonna go into it. Yo, Zendorius, real quick. Hey everyone, hope you're all having a good week. So we talked about, we had a replay system that was added to JNet last weekend, and it slaps so hard. Zendorius emailed me, metropolgrid@gmail.com, emailed me a replay to go over. I'm gonna be going through it hopefully on stream next week. I just need to get consent, Zendorius, if we're sure that your opponent is okay with us looking at it publicly, because we're gonna be, you know, talking about it. But if that's if that's okay, we'll do it. And if you have some replays you want to send my way, we can probably look through them on stream, because it seems like a really fun experiment. Also, how's it going, Cody? I'll always be running. It's all the details name. It's your name is your true colors. Only one faction with 5 neutral influence. HB Glacier 1 overall. Okay, so you have to be in faction plus 5 neutral influence. That's dope. Yo, Eons, what's up? JTFQ also, how's it going? Yes, I asked in Discord and they said absolutely. Okay, cool. Zendorius, we'll do it next week then for sure. Raketo, showing off makes you feel so clever about leaving that DBS on the table. I guess it does. So there's also comments about how it's weird. Tempest is saying how it's really strange to play Faust without Wildside. And I think that's one of the changes that I'll quickly make to this deck, is that the card draw here is kind of lacking.
Oh, for sure.
Technically,
you got Price Hotel.
Yeah, but that's it, right? And like maybe we're used to inject and I've had worse. We could definitely play I've had worse. I don't know what other card draw we could possibly fit into this deck. I'm also not sure whether playing 3 Paladin Puemo is necessary. Obviously the other 2 are dead cards, but it's really good to get early. I don't know what the logic on this is. I usually don't play more than 2, but I might be wrong here. And the economy is also really interesting, right? Like, it's hard for us to run and at the same time get value because we have to spend cards from hand. So cards like Day Job are kind of interesting. It throws our whole turn away, but it is money. I never loved Day Job. It's just kind of like a huge, like when we want to be drawing mid-turn, doing stuff like that. It's kind of bad with Earthrise Hotel because you have to discard your cards. This is a bit weird. I think I like the card draw a bit more if we can get that in there, and we're kind of, you know, we're just kind of all going in on medium. If we hit like some fucking 7 strength, whatever, it's gonna be a problem if we hit a macrophage. And on that note, Faust is good. I think you definitely want to play Ice Carver in a Faust deck. I think there's a fair bit of 5 strength ice, and that actually saves you a card every time you break it, which seems to be worth it. I also feel like Faust pairs relatively well with Ice Destruction, and we don't have any of it, and we have Data Sucker, so Parasite could go really well with that. I think Hippo's a really easy to include. I do like Obelisk as card draw, which is really nice, and it works really well with medium to feel up your thing, but I'm not sure we need 3 of these because it's not something, I don't know. It's obviously very good, but I don't think we need all 3 of them. So I think there's changes we could definitely make to this. Prefer Queen's Gambit to Day Job? Oh, I don't even know if I want to do that. I don't even think we need to do that, but that one is a bit scary for sure.
I haven't watched it
yet. Yeah. Oh boy. Do you want to play this as is before we make some changes?
Sure. Yeah, let's try that.
Cool. Who will help the Widow's Son 007 to Volcano? I don't even know what that means, Spear. How's it going? Good morning. Just about because of the kids and saw you 2 are online. We'll check the VOD later. Good luck. Have fun too early here. Yo, Rosenheim, get some sleep or the closest thing to it. Thanks for dropping in, huh? Oh, yo, yeah, we can just copy paste this stuff in. We don't have to do anything. Obelisk Split Medium is the idea according to creator. Yeah, Obelisk Split Medium, I understand. The idea is you see a lot of cards, you draw a lot of cards, but Obelisk fires the first time a turn, so like it's not like you're going to get your 5 deep medium dig. Also, if you're going to, I think, tunnel so hard on medium, you definitely want Ice Destruction. Because as soon as they put like 3 ice on R&D, you're like, oh, I'm going to run medium 3 times this turn, is not going to work. Yeah. So, yeah, you can definitely you can work around that. Also, if you want to play for what it's worth, and I don't know if it works well with the deck, but if you do want to play Obelisk, you also might want to consider Turning Wheel. I don't think it works particularly well with the deck, but you can do it, and it has some cool combos in theory. Okay, deck builder important.
Day Job is an interesting card to have. Like you're expecting them to be purging a couple of times in any given game, right? Because you have medium out. So Day Job is a good like response to a purge, I suppose.
I don't know. I'm not actually convinced, right? Because the thing is, like, if they purge, the best thing you want to do is like, okay, they're going to be purging Data Sucker counters, right? And that's what the Dirty Laundries kind of look good, and I think a little better, because you can always like Dirty Laundry archives, you get a Data Sucker token and money, and the Data Sucker tokens are very valuable. Every Data Sucker token is worth like half a card, if not a card in some situations, because of the Faust. So I don't know. It's like the opposite of a run-based economy card is like, you know, sit back. Well, DreamNet is a card we probably should be playing, right? Like maybe it draws too quickly through a deck, but on every first successful run of turn, we get a card back, right? That's basically mini Obelisk. But it's also like just a fine card, I guess. Obelisk only works on centrals or everything. Yeah, it's only on R&D or HQ as well. So like having DreamNet for remotes is really nice. Andre looking slick today. Yo, Philip. I look like a person you shouldn't trust. Yeah, it's not good. This mustache is not a problem. Too much clicks. It's 2 clicks per credit. Gambit is 1 for 6. No, Gambit's 2 for 6 because it's a double. But also, you can't play it on every board state. There's also a lot of board states you just can't play it on, either because it's a liability or because there's like just nothing to do it to.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So Pat, check this out. Save replay. This will come in. This will come in later. Awesome. Thanks. It's been a good match at 419 versus the outfit. I loaded the deck up and saw it was 419 with the outfit, and then seeing some of the cards in the outfit deck, I was pretty excited for it. Yo, Solomon, what's up? Hey, Andre. Hey, Pat. How's your Thursday going? It's going well so far. It's
been all right.
It's Patin Week here in Montreal. If you're playing from home, you can always participate in Patin Week, and it's another week we have in which Montreal makes fun of other cultures for trying to make Patin poorly. It's probably better than Patin Week, honestly. I'd honestly be interested outside of like if you've gone to Netrunner Worlds and had a Patin at that Fantasy Flight Game Center, how easy is it to get a poutine wherever the heck y'all are from?
They have grown in popularity significantly. Like, Andre, do you remember your first poutine? Is that a weird question?
Like in my life? No, I don't remember my first poutine.
I remember mine was my family took a trip to the Eastern Townships, which is a little bit southeast of Montreal, and I saw it on the menu, and I'm like, I'm going to try this thing that I've heard about. And my parents probably kept from me to keep me healthy or something. But I tried it.
He
and
must not know about this.
He must not see it. He must not experience it. But since then, I've seen it across Canada, of course, and like the rare times I've been to the States in the past little while, I have seen poutine on some greasy spoon diner type menus.
Diners do it, right? Like I think if you go to the Northeast, like if you're in Vermont, which is kind of off-brand Quebec, you'll find it there.
We basically honorary Canada.
Yeah. Solomon,
I just know what I want to play with you.
It took me a second. Do they really call it like that in Quebec? I'm not like I'm an Anglophone. Poutine is pretty accurate to how people say it, I'm pretty sure. Yo, Phil, what up? Yo, Phil, what can you tell us about poutine? You're a French Canadian man. I had a good poutine in Pennsylvania, but to nobody's surprise, turns out the cook was a Canadian. Yeah, that'll happen.
When I was working in the Yukon, one of the chefs I worked with, because I was a cook, did a poutine that used like mozzarella. They obviously couldn't get like authentic squeaky cheese, so they had like a mozzarella poutine. It was not good.
No, that's the problem. Everyone does the wrong kind of cheese because they're cheese curds aren't everywhere, and then everyone makes fun of you in French Canada. It's really healthy. Yeah, that sounds about accurate. It's not that bad, is it? Yo, Tyler, what up? What's up?
Be good.
I usually watch VODs on Friday to de-stress before work. Thought I'd pop in. Thanks for your content. Yo, that's really kind. I'm glad to be part of that Friday routine. Hopefully you're having a good Friday. Only one restaurant near me serves poutine. Super yummy because it's uncommon. It's a specialty. It's pretty good quality. That's cool. Like some restaurants will be like, oh, we do a poutine, and so we get the real cheese curds. We're kind of the real deal. That's actually really nice. I think your "oo" pronunciation is not the best. It's more like poutine.
Yeah, you're not supposed to. It's not poutine.
No, poutine is like how you'd say it in Ontario. Poutine. Give me a poutine.
Ugh.
Poutine. Yeah, I think Phil, you're right. That might be better. Artem, what up? Poutine outside of Quebec is awful because they don't have cheese curds. Yeah, that's basically it. Yeah. Pascal says, I see it in some diners and brew pubs in Seattle, pretty close to Canada. Yeah, Seattle's also off-brand British Columbia, so that checks out. I think they do have poutine at the FFG HQs. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think I've actually had it a couple times when we were there. It was always kind of like that thing that they tell you to do, go to FFG HQ during lunch and get the poutine. Yeah, Spear, if you want to jump in for a game, this is surprisingly long. There's 20 games tonight. I don't know why it's taking so long to find a match. I have a friend who moved to Toronto and she was visiting and told me how nice it was to be back in a place where poutine is a verb. We can poutine things. I feel like more places are learning about cheese curds. Cheese curds are very good. All right, we're against sports metal. That is a problem because we have to just embrace the medium. Let me move our faces so we can see what the mole looks like.
But E3 implants is good against Bioroid Ice if they're using any of that.
Yeah, there's a chance they're the Worlds deck and all they have is Meridian, which is fine because that's a barrier, right?
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, that's true.
I think we keep this cheese hand, right? Double medium Faust, no card draw, liberated laundry. Yeah, good enough.
That looks good.
Yo, Andre, I took your plunge and brought Arkham Horror. About to play with my partner this weekend. Yo, let me know how it goes. It's been so good. I'm playing on hard mode for the first time. We got our second
really?
thing. I died to the thing I thought I'd died to, which I'm not going to spoil it, but I'm playing Winifred and Dunwich, which is an issue. And I want to make more Arkham content. I've kind of been setting myself up to do it, so we'll get there soon.
I've never played on hard mode. I've only ever done standard.
First time, man, and I would recommend it.
Really?
It changes very little besides the bag gets slightly harder.
That just doesn't seem interesting to me.
You need to build a better deck. Like, I don't think the variance is higher.
Cool.
It's just like if you have to consistently test it like +3, +4 instead of +2.
Yeah.
Okay, so sports medal. Whenever we steal an agenda or they score an agenda, it's either 2 cards, which if they played Faust, they'd be doing pretty good, or 2 credits. We have an open HQ, which is a nice way to set this up, and we can jam Faust. This is more ice than I thought we'd see in a sports medal deck, and this looks like a Rashida, but it also could just be a Mega Pre. It could be a, what's that 3/1 that gives them points or money?
Hyperloop extension.
Yeah, that's it. We going in?
Yeah, we're going in.
Let her rip. Also, like, we have good built-in defense against specifically Hagen.
True.
And Satyr Adaptive Berry is looking pretty stupid against Quetzal, but that actually looks more like a Glacier deck than the combo deck if they're playing ice like that.
That's fine. We can deal with. Well, no, we can't really deal with Glacier actually.
No, we definitely can't. Yeah. Okay, so I don't want to show Faust. I just want to get card draw down because I don't think we need Liberated Money this turn.
Yeah, let's draw it.
Okay, that's good.
Okay.
Draw once more, put Earthrise or credit Earthrise.
Yeah, let's do that. I think credit Earthwise so we can get to Liberated faster.
Okay.
Excuse me.
I don't even remember how bad Vancouver Patin is relative to Quebec. Great place in Canmore, actually, La Belle Patate. Canmore, I don't even know where Canmore is, but it shows up in like Royal Canadian Air Force as a joke place.
Oh yeah, well he's Mike from Canmore.
Oh, Mike from Canmore, yeah.
Yeah, no, did we both grow up on Rail
Canadian Air Force? We grew up on Air Force.
Oh man, that would explain a lot about us.
Yeah. Air Force is like, it's political sketch comedy for Canada. It's good fun in the 90s.
Yeah. Yeah, and like funnier than SNL, I think.
Much funnier than SNL. But culturally irrelevant to majority of the planet.
Absolutely.
Do we want to just run HQ? Imp HQ? Because we think that there's a, what's it called in there? A satyr?
You want to imp the satyr?
No,
I guess we want to
put
crack ice when we can, right?
Sorry?
Sorry, you go. What was your plan?
Okay, so if we think this is a Satyr Adaptive Barrier, we can get through with Quetzal. So if we put Imp on, that's pressure. But if we put Imp down, we're further away from Liberated. So we could always just like credit and crank Liberated and then get ready for next turn when we have 8 cards in hand or whatever.
I'd sooner have Liberated out. Like going further away from Liberated means
it would be really bad unless we draw well. Okay, so Ginger City Grid. So this is pure Glacier. So we got there's a Gatekeeper there. So we just want to get the medium down and maybe imp some ice. And it looks like they're advancing an agenda. So it is just a Vitruvius with no counters. That's pretty good. And they got 2 credits. So we have to go now.
They have 6 credits.
I think they built condos on Mike's grave since then. Pretty trendy place. What? Oh, Canmore, yeah.
Yeah, and Canmore. And Canmore is like, it's central British Columbia, but it's not like Nelson Central. I like Nelson. There.
Is Canmore in BC? I thought Canmore was like in the prairies.
I thought it was BC. Mike
seems like a prairie man.
I guess he does, yeah.
Okay,
what does that say about us?
Ontario, we think we're America, I think. Medium Faust R&D?
Yeah, let's try it. And hope it's a barrier.
They only got 6 credits? Well, we have Faust. We can hope it's anything.
I guess I don't want to lose. I guess we can lose the other medium. But...
Yeah, it's in Alberta, right? Just outside of Banff.
Really? I thought that was BC for some reason.
I think Canmore is like Springfield, where there's one in every province.
Yeah.
NGO front, trash for 1. Yeah, let's go back. Let's see some more cards.
Will they res it now?
Oh, I don't know. Do they have a CVS in this list? Fairchild 3, Cyberdeck Sandbox. So they do have some triggers to get rid of our viruses. That's scary.
Okay, that's going to be annoying.
Yeah. Okay, I miss Air Farce, or Solemn says I miss Air Farce. I remember it getting bad. I do remember the chicken cannon.
I've got to say the chicken cannon. That was fun. Stuff that was something they put poutine in, right?
Yeah.
They'd put the chicken in and then they'd be like, yeah.
Pretty often that happened. I also remember they did radio comedy a lot. We used to have their cassettes.
Yeah.
Okay, so
My family definitely had like a few best of collections of theirs, and my parents had to like explain most of the jokes.
this is looking a lot like a Fairchild 3. So I'm
Yes.
thinking
So
we
run
do
first click.
Liberated, E3,
Oh,
Rokongamato,
oh,
but then we won't have the
yeah.
credits to go. Also, they put something in here. Ubi, what's up? Haven't caught a live stream in a while. Looking forward to these games. We're trying the decklist of the week right now, and it's all about Faust E3. I think we need to get that combo down. We just need a modicum of credits because Kongamato E3 is absurd.
Okay, so let's take money and put the combo down.
So
even if we can't necessarily run.
Right, I think we can run here, right?
They've got 11 credits though.
Yeah, but this is a Fairchild 3, which costs us 2.
Yeah, all right, let's try it. Run it last click.
The issue is like we're out of card draw. Like this is where an obelisk would have been.
Oh, did we trash the cyber decks or did we leave it in?
We stole it. It's a sandbox, like the agenda.
Oh, there's the agenda, right? That's right. My brain was thinking the other way.
So here we'll break and then credit. And again, hey, 2 credits to get through Fairchild 3 and a Kongamato is not too bad whatsoever.
Nice.
So now we have the full Faust this. Yo, Andre, what's up? Oh, it's a border control. Okay, so we just we catch all that, and then we can do a card if we want to deny them 2 credits.
I think like they're down to 1 credit. I think denying them money is worth tossing it or
unless this is Rashida, and if we deny them credits, they can't score out. So we're gonna deny them credits, and then we'll Faust an Imp. And they probably border control us here, right? But actually maybe not, because they like us stealing agendas. It kind of helps them not lose. I've been looking forward to seeing this deck in action. How's it going so far? This is actually like our 4th click, so we don't fully know. Oh, they let us in. Rashida can't trash. 5 level clearance can't trash.
Can't trash.
Rashida can't trash.
Can't trash.
Holy shit. Oh no. And this is again why like I think Ice Destruction is so good. Like just getting down a Hippo in this deck, we put so much pressure on R&D. And it looks like they couldn't score here. We know this is a gatekeeper. I think we could consider going server 1. I think we could consider server 1 because this looks like an agenda. They didn't score it. They had 1 credit.
Yeah.
We can also imp go HQ. We have to hit the Liberated first no matter what.
Oh yeah, of course. Hit the Liberated, but
yeah, I know.
I just hate being below this many credits when we could credit up and take the other Liberated out.
We also know that they drew into Rashida.
Yeah.
How many cards would be if we hit a gatekeeper? It'd be a couple cards. It'd be 3 cards and a credit.
3 and a credit, yeah.
Okay, so we want to keep our Kongamato for that. Okay, what do we do here? Like this is where I want I've had worse in the deck. I want DreamNet. Like I want to be able to obviously redraw back into our stuff. That's why Obelisk is in the list. But yeah, the money is pretty bad, and I don't want a day job. Like that's the thing. If we have to top deck a day job to have it in our hand, we can't like draw it mid-turn and play it.
Credit Liberated.
That's so slow, but yeah, I think we have to because as soon as we spend the money, it's gone. And they're gonna score an agenda in here that we could definitely contest. It's a bummer. Kongamato the gatekeeper puts them at 0. Yeah, if they res it, they're at 0, which is obviously very good for us, but we did the opposite. I feel like we need the Kongamato a lot of times for Fairchild 3. And again, if we had Ice Carver, this would save us a card every time we deal with it. It's a frightening set of 3 cards. It's wild. Oh, they undrew the draw card? Oh, okay. That's all good. So they know the next card. It's a bummer. Hill Mill, what's up? How's it going? You want me to stuff? Nah, it's all good.
Hey.
All right, there's the last 5 level clearance. Okay, so now they broke it. We know that they have 2 Rashidas in hand. They also have 8 credits. Oh yeah, wow. Surveyor Hagen.
Oh wow.
So
okay,
that is an 8 strength Surveyor. We do have Boomerang for that, and we know that it's here. So Boomerang is actually going to get us pretty far if we draw it. We also could just run HQ as long as we have 1 credit because we're pretty sure that this is a Satyr Adaptive Barrier.
That's true.
And we can get through it pretty easily. The question is whether we like do Liberated Imp run it. Drawing into Data Sucker also would be pretty sick.
Yeah, let's draw, see what we get.
That's good.
That's okay.
I think we do Liberated, run HQ, and if we don't spend 4 credits, we get down Earthrise.
Sure.
Even I'm pretty sure this is an adaptive.
Like we know there's 2 Rashidas in there at least.
Yeah, that's why we want some money. So we might not be able to install this.
Yeah.
But hey, their money is pretty bad. There's a Hagen. Okay. So we'll put this down. Did anyone see the weird article about Netrunner? I thought it was fair. I'm glad to see discussion on inclusivity in broader media. Yeah, Tyler, we actually talked about it a bit earlier today. Yes, it was an agenda in there for a long time. Luckily, it's just a Vitruvius, but it's a Wired article, and I haven't fully read it yet, but it talks about the battle of inclusivity in Netrunner. It's really cool, especially just to see Netrunner show up more in the mainstream, which is awesome. I'm going fairly well. Birthday was last weekend. Yo, happy birthday, Lamilla. Played D&D with my pals over Discord. All in all, every day is the same lately. COVID. Always glad to catch a stream. How are y'all? I'm doing all right. It's been okay. Staying busy enough. Work got a bit busier than normal, but that's fine. I don't go outside much, so the days do become the same. Okay, this looks good because this is clickless economy, and that's pretty good for our deck. So we know HQ is 2 Rashidas, which they're going to jam in the next remote no matter what. The problem is if Rashida fires and they find a 5/3, we're in a sticky situation. I think we just slam R&D, don't we?
Yeah, sure. I mean, we've got 3 counters on medium already. Might as well slam it.
Yeah, no Obelisk yet, which is a bummer. So we'll take a modicum of credits. I think we have to install Kongamato just to get through the Fairchild.
Yes.
Problem is, like, if we steal agendas, it powers them up. But if we draw well with, like, Earthrise, we'll boomerang through the remote, no problem. We know there's Hagens and Satyrs here or whatever, so we'll be fine. They don't have the economy to go for it? Oh, I think they do. Especially because we can steal here, they can draw and credits. All they think they need is, like, 9 credits for the remote, and then, like, 5 to score. Yeah, the 5 to score, you're right, is the problem. So... Oh, wow, we can E3 with Quetzal. Oh, we didn't have money last time. Do we care for a card more than we care for a credit?
I think we spend the credit here. We do have 8 in the bank.
Okay, so then we just can't trash Rashidas and Violets, but we've seen most of those already.
Yeah.
Grade and server 1 is not a priority to trash. No, this is not a priority. At this point, it's like any ice they install, it's gonna be a problem for them to res it. Okay, so they obviously ended the run, so as long as they don't purge, we can still go through it. We can also run HQ here, but we don't have money to trash the 2 Rashidas in hand, so I think we're just gonna Earth Liberated.
Yeah, just take money here.
Okay. We'd be so good if we drew Data Suckers at this point. We could start slamming archives, and then we only have to spend like 2 cards to break R&D.
Oh, they purge. Trust in the Earthrise. Okay.
Yeah, okay. That's fine. Boomerang gets through this for 3 credits. That's good enough. Okay, we have our Obelisk, which is nice. So we could consider doing something like Liberated, Sure Gamble, Obelisk, run HQ.
Or put down daily casts to make sure we have more money.
Yeah. I think we want to get HQ every turn. Like, we want to fire Obelisk every turn because it's once a turn.
True.
Okay. So we'll do this.
Yeah, that's true. It works on HQ, I forgot.
And this will ensure that we hit the Rashida in hand. I don't know. I really do think that this is a Satyr adaptive barrier. I'm hoping for showing off. I just want to see get some play for one. Yeah, Semiotics, how's it going? Yeah, it's probably the worst card in this list. Like, locking the top of R&D is probably just better. I don't ever want to, like, see more from the bottom. But yeah, there you go. That's a Satyr adaptive. That's exactly what we thought. And that's a really bad res for them because we can get through it. So that means they probably have multiple agendas in their hand. But specifically resing that last click is a bummer, right? Because we can only run... Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, you see? They realized they goofed it because we're not going to run again. Okay. Well, they're not going to de-res it. I guess I respect that. That's all good. So it looks like they have something in here. We'll take the food, which is the thing they needed to jam. It's going to give them 2 cards, 2 credits. But we know at least we can go once HQ to get a free card draw and and a free credit. And here you go. There's that.
And there's a day sucker.
There's the sucker we want. That's really good. I'm not saying it's good, but I'm saying it's fun. I don't think I've actually ever played one. Maybe it is fun. Oh, that's good. They have to overcommit to there. We think that's a Hagen. And we still know in their hand what they have 2 of. And they need like at least 7 credits to res 2 ice on here. Okay. All right, this is good. This is good.
Okay, that's good.
So we're catching up. So we can always go like Data Sucker and Dirty Laundry Archives.
Yeah.
Our card draw now is pretty limited. I think we need another medium at some point. Has it been implemented on JNet? Yeah, I assume so. It's been out for a while. What do you want to do? What do you want to pressure? We know in hand is 2. We know 2 Rashidas in hand, right?
Yeah.
Which way do you want to go?
That's true. I think just data sucker dirty laundry archives for now.
Okay. There's a chance there's a CVS in here.
Oh, right.
Yeah, there's a CVS in there and at
I
least
mean,
one Rashido. So we can't actually get data sucker tokens from there, but actually 3 Rashidas are out. We don't know anything that's in hand.
oh,
I smell a bit of blood.
Mm-hmm. Can we go after HQ now?
Do we do imp run HQ?
Well, what if it's a? Oh no, they only have 4 credits, so we're not even worried about most things.
Well, Gatekeeper's annoying, right? It's like a fair few cards. Like we haven't drawn a boomerang yet, and our card draw is done. That's the whole biggest issue here. Is we're gonna spend like at least 3 cards to access, get 1 back.
Yeah.
We just need more card draw in this deck. I think we need DreamNet. I think we might even need John Masanori. I doubt it. We definitely want iFedwares. Even like, what's it called? Deus Ex is not Deus Ex. What's the one with the guy without sleeves? The Dan D'Argenio card is like good enough.
Deuce is Wild?
Yeah, Deuce is Wild. It's like 2 cards and a free run for the same click. Like whatever. We going Imp HQ?
Yeah, let's put down Imp and go HQ.
Because why are they throwing out Rashidas, you know?
That is really surprising. I guess they were really counting on putting down that cool food.
Even if we hit a hedge fund from hand, we'll look like heroes. It is a Hagen, okay. So Trash One program is not a decoder factor killer, so that basically hits everything. Literally everything. So we can, it's cheaper for us to
do we just break that one and bounce?
I think we Quetzal E3 this and spend 2 cards for Satyr.
Okay. Because we could also just bounce here with no ill effect, and they're on 0 credits, and then next turn just hammer R&D or something.
The Siberia Bag Bathroom.
Because otherwise we're spending cards and credits on getting in to we don't know what. Unless you're really sure there's an agenda there.
I just don't know what's in hand, right? Because Rashida.
Yeah.
Rashida's so weird. And we can also imp agendas so we don't grab them with sports medal, so we can ensure that they don't get like carried away.
True.
I don't know, man. Because you're right, they don't have any cards next turn, but that means also we can capitalize on that. Right? Like then it gives us a turn to refuel, right?
Yeah, I don't know. I think I prefer bouncing here, but it's up to you.
What the fuck is in hand, man? Why would they throw out Rashida? Okay, so if we go in, right, like this is 1 credit, we'll be at 7. That's not a problem. And then this is 2 cards. Right? So it only costs us 1 card to do this because we get 1 card back. I think a card for an Axis is worth.
Okay, let's try it.
Okay. So we'll Quetzal the trash program. We'll E3 the end the run. We'll continue, and they went to the bathroom, so we're gonna have to wait. Yo, Anthony, what's up? Is this the Quetzal deck was showing off? Yeah, it's the deck list of the week. This is our first game with it. How's it going? You want Quetzal value this turn? Yeah, I think you don't need the Quetzal value per turn, but I think with Obelisk and with getting a data sucker counter, which kind of a lot of times is actually going to be worth 1 card, this might be positive on tempo. Because we get an imp, which we'll definitely use no matter what we hit. We get data sucker and we get an Obelisk trigger, which is pretty good. Our opponent went to the restroom, so we can just chill for a bit.
Yeah, let's just hang out. What's everybody been reading?
Sorry? What's anybody been reading?
Yeah.
I feel like I haven't been reading. I finished The Plague by Camus.
Oh,
which is something that's kind of rough to read modernly because it's about the bubonic plague hitting a city in Algeria, but it's also meant to be an allegory of the Nazi occupation of a French city in like the 1940s. It's fucking dire, and I read that while I stayed indoors. That's good. What are you reading, dude? You read way more than I do. You must have something nice to read.
I do, but I'm in a bit of a slump lately. Like I'm reading a book called The New Rune's Arms for my book club. It's by a person who's recently made sci-fi grandmaster. It's set in in the Caribbean, I think, where a woman meets I think where they're going is like these are descendants of slaves who jumped ship, and she meets like the Mer people descendants of these slaves.
How is it?
So far, it's good. Like it started off spooky, but I think it's going in more a wholesome direction.
Nice. Okay. Ubi wrote in chat the bubonic plague is a hoax to microchip the rats, which got a pretty good laugh at me. Wasn't actually the fleas? Yeah, Rash. It was technically the fleas, but the rats had the fleas, and the fleas were transferring the blood from the sick rats.
Rats got a bad rap.
5G gets so good coverage. Yo, speaking of good coverage, I have an exercise bike, which is how I try and keep in shape while I don't go outside anymore. And we got a clip stand for it to put the iPad on it. And then tried Steam Link, and our Wi-Fi has been upgraded this year, and it's so good. I'm playing Hitman on the iPad, and it runs buttery with no lag. 10 out of 10 would recommend. It's so good.
You've got a controller hooked up by
Bluetooth controller. I got like a Xbox Elite controller. It's it's flawless, man. It's so good. Anthony is saying Shannon Maguire is an amazing writer. Her novella series Wayward Children is worth checking out. Plus, they are novellas, so they don't take too long to read.
That's cool. I've read 5 things this year, and most of them were novellas because I'm a big fan of Lois McMaster Bujold. She does this great sci-fi series called the Rokoskin Saga, and I've been reading her fantasy novels that are set in a universe where there are 5 gods, and they're all pretty cool.
All the gods are cool. It would suck if
all the gods are cool this time.
1 or 2 of them. Rakatha says E3 is so ridiculous with Shaper resource breakers, it really doesn't deserve to be in the gateway IMO. Is it in the gateway? I don't think we know if it's in the gateway. We don't know what gateway is yet, do we?
Oh, Gideon the Ninth. That's on my list to read too.
Do rule books count? Lol. I read the whole rule book to Vampire Eternal Struggle 5th edition, and it's a small novel. I read a lot of rule books recently. I learned how to play Brass Birmingham, which I watched Rodney teach me how to play that game 3 times. It takes half an hour at a time, and I couldn't figure it out. And then I put my mind to it, and the game's pretty good. And the rule book's actually like really easy. Fucking Rodney, every time he makes it so much harder. What was he doing? He spins the box around, and then I got lost. You know how it is.
Exactly. He throws me off. I faint. He's making us Canadian board gamers look bad. That's what I have to say.
It's no good.
I'm so kidding. I'm really kidding.
Yeah, Ronnie's great.
His army is going to come after us and break down my door.
They mentioned that some of the salvage cards might be in Gateway. I don't remember that. Is that true?
That must have been a joke.
Because I think Gateway. I think they said they would be in like System Core, not in Gateway. Because Gateway I think is like 90% new cards, barring probably like Sure Gamble or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. And simpler cards too, like they're not even including certain mechanics.
Yeah. I've been playing Deus Ex Mankind Divided while waiting for Cyberpunk to be fixed. Totally worth it. Yo, Tempest, it's gonna be a while. That game's not that long. I'm sorry if I'm dunking Cyberpunk 2077, but I think it's gonna be a bit. In before just a subliminal messaging, technically true. Brass Birmingham is pretty good, but I've been getting games of Food Chain Magnate like 3 times a week lately. That game has just legs for days.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I played.
I do want to try that one of these days.
I played it at what's it called? Not Gen Con, I've never been, but the one in Ohio.
Origins,
yeah, I played at Origins, and we didn't have time to play a full game, and we had to learn the rules at the board game section, the free play section. So we didn't figure it out well, and it seems like the sort of game where if you fuck up turn 1, you're out of the game. And it actually is interesting because if I'm not mistaken, the designer of that game is quoted to say, if you can't lose the game on turn 1, why have turn 1? Which I very much disagree with. I think
it's fun to say.
It's fun to say, and like that's the idea. But like in that game, you can fuck up so bad on turn 1, from my understanding, because it's like this engine building thing where you build this tree of employees, and you know if you fuck up your tech tree. Yeah.
I don't think we ever finished playing a game of Inish. Maybe you weren't with us when we were at the Fantasy Flight Center.
No, I was casting. I think I remember you guys played it. It looked really cool.
Yeah, Inish was really great. Like that's a game I want to try again one of these days.
Yeah, Inish looks cool. I picked up Cthulhu Wars. They have a dual version, so it only costs $30 for 2 players.
Oh, okay, I was about to say, like,
yeah,
I've been to your apartment.
You don't have that space.
You don't have that kind of space.
Yeah, so Cthulhu Wars is like this $200 game that has miniatures the size of small pets. But they released
one of the designers of Age of Empires.
Oh, really?
Yep.
That's cool.
This is Andy Peterson.
That's
anyway,
really
sorry,
cool.
Tell me about Duel.
But yeah, it's basically that game, but they don't have plastic minifigures. It's just like cardboard things that you slip into standees, and it's like $35, like Canadians, really affordable. I've only played it once. I got stomped. But it's a cool, like what they call a dudes on map area control game. It's pretty neat. Cool. Random question: what do you think of Android mainframe? I have it on my shelf. I think.
Oh yeah.
Maddie's laughing in the other room. I think Netrunner is the worst part of Android mainframe. Android mainframe to me is, so basically it's like this abstract game where you make zones to surround people's tiles. The bathroom did not go well, did it? Yeah, Anthony says it's basically dots and boxes, and like that is fine, that's cool. But then they add all this Netrunner stuff where you have programs and you play as like identities, but like then they just recycle Netrunner art. And I feel like the game is a really minimal, clean game, something that could be presented like Go, or I'm running out of minimal games. Like what's the other one? I get it. There's that other one, Tack, something like that. But it's very busy and it's very noisy, and none of that makes sense. And the thing that bothers me the most, it's actually a reskin of an existing game.
I was about to say, it's based on like a art school game.
Yeah, Bauhaus, which I probably presenting wrong. Yeah. And you can't get this game because it was largely only like published in Europe, and I think it's Spanish. It's a Spanish company that makes it. And I would love to have this game because it's an art object, and it's the same game, but presented in a way I think that's way more clear and way more obvious. And I think this is lovely. And I think the Netrunner one, like, it's not that interesting of an abstract game, and I think Netrunner actually just complicates it. I'm here, sorry, it's legit groundhogging. Fucking disgusting. Jesus Christ.
You didn't have to say that out loud.
I thought I could make it, but the game went on longer than expected. Christ almighty. Jesus fuck. Didn't want to shit. Oh god. That's awful, dude. Oh man. He keeps going. Yo, Jogging, what up? Could the Corp win turn 1 in Netrunner? No,
I've never seen a way that it's
there is some, like, somebody was telling me there's a way to draw your whole deck on turn 1, which makes me think you can. Jesus fuck. The Corp played hedge fund, and an offer you can't refuse, and runner makes the run. But then what? You can't punitive them. They have to not refuse a lot. On agendas from PE? No jumping off of the train tracks. What? All right. Let's break this with Faust. Strength. Let's get rid of, I think the next medium seems like a fun medium. We'll get rid of this. Do you like the hedge fund or the casts?
You mean which one do I have to lose here?
Yeah.
I think lose the hedge fund.
Okay.
Well, is that wrong? Was it wrong?
Know. Obokata? They'd have to choose to steal Obokata. Yeah, okay. The runner could goof it up. I think that you could make a situation in which the runner goofs it. Global Food Initiative. Okay. Do we want to steal this, or do we want to trash it? If we trash it, they don't get nothing. I think we trash it.
Yeah, because like our virus counters are vulnerable anyway. We know they're likely to purge at some point. So sure, trash it. We'll come back to it later.
We'll come back, yeah. Hedge fund C-Source Scorch? No, they need to run for C-Source. They had to make a successful run last turn. That's the problem. It's like a lot of win conditions require a run off the successful run off the last turn.
Yeah.
Bad roll, I called it. Yeah, same with punitive. Punitive, they have to steal under the last turn. So you can't like offer, you can't refuse into like a 6-pointer and then punitive them. Okay, card draw is, I was going to say toilet, but I don't want to talk about that no more. So we have the boomerang. So we in theory can just boomerang HQ and basically trade a card for a card, like boomerang Quetzal, go in.
Yeah, sure. Let's try that. Let's see what happens.
This is where I'd love like a way to multi-access HQ as well. But I think we're meant to tunnel on a medium, but it's really hard. They put 2 pieces of good ice and you don't have ice destruction. Like you can't keep up with it a lot of times. R&D double medium.
Do we know what the other ice on R&D is?
No, we have no idea.
Cool.
Yeah, maybe we could double medium here, but they've been throwing out Rashida, so I think their hand is like stacked. I think the runner screwing up an offer you can't receive really badly is the only way for it to happen. Yeah, actually, maybe there's a way where you do like, there is that card that says trash your hand, draw 5 cards. So you throw out like 5 agendas into the 4 agendas, I guess, into the heap, and then they run it with PE with offer. Like, yeah, there's definitely convoluted ways, but the runner would have to.
Offer you can't refuse plus Cortex lock.
Ash. We're gonna trash that Ash. Trashing Ash.
Yeah, it's fine.
Okay,
And,
so
all right, we got our hedge fund back.
We got a hedge fund back, yeah. The hedge fund back, yeah, that's true. Okay, so we know nothing about hand. R&D is pretty weak. They could res a Hagen. I mean, sorry, a Gatekeeper specifically.
Would they go to 0 to res a Gatekeeper?
I don't know, man. Probably not. I think we just want to draw until we have a boomerang in hand, because then the remote is trash if we have a boomerang. And then we can get down to the daily cast. I'll put down the casts.
Yeah, let's do
I just wish we had a better card draw. Oh, Mwanza. Yeah, Mwanza actually, you're right. Mwanza opens it up for sure. P can body out, Audacity to score show, force turn 1, do 3 damage, which is very short of flatlining Adam. No, but Adam starts with 5 cards. He doesn't get 3 until after. Okay, they're up at 6. Okay, so they're obviously recovering. If we draw into a boomerang, it'd be good. I think we just draw up. I don't know, man. The problem is the border control here. Yeah. P doesn't have enough money to buy turn 1. That's also gonna be a problem. Yo, what up, Kizra? How's it going? I think we drop, dude. The runner's a choice? Yeah, but we're gonna have to assume that the runner's not gonna have a choice on this one. Like, the runner has to work with you to win turn 1. I don't think you can otherwise, unless there's some ridiculous combo where you like accelerate diagnostics outside of standard and just win, which I think is possible. Okay, I'm just gonna draw up.
Sure.
We have 3 boomerangs and 23. Okay. Okay, that's a bit too late. I guess that's why you put 3 in the deck.
It's kind of late.
Yeah. Okay. So, do we just put down another cast? So next turn that we can meet. I think we just draw cast, right, and then start slamming R&D.
Sure. Yeah.
Because they don't have money to score a 5/3 and, you know, protect that shit. Right. Yeah. Runner basically has to goof up. Yeah, runner has to goof up really hard. I'm not sure about 50 minutes, but I agree 40-minute games being too long. Yo, what do you think about the lead designer for NISEI? Oh yeah, yo, Tempest, we have those tweets up. We're going to talk about them after this decklist of the week because they're very interesting. It's actually the most news we've got out of NISEI, I think, in like a month or so. And it's really interesting. And I think people are going to have strong opinions about it.
People do. I've read the comments.
Oh, are they that bad? I haven't read them.
There's some that were pretty negative, but I mean, I think for the most part, like once people give it some thought, and it's like, yeah. Anyway, we'll talk about it. It's certainly interesting.
So they installed, but they didn't advance it. So if it's going to be a 5/3, they'd have to, like, I don't know, game changer, and then they run out of money, I think. So do we
tunnel R&D?
Do we tunnel R&D? Sure, the thing is, like, if we do another medium, we only have 2 credits, which is not a lot. So I think we need to do gamble medium, and then we can get through this relatively easy. This is 2 cards if we really need to, but I think we just, I don't know, man.
Okay, so I mean, it all depends what that first dice is, but it would take us like 2 cards and 2 credits to get through Fairchild.
Yeah, at a minimum.
And even with, and correct me if I'm wrong, even with 2 mediums out, we still only access 1 card, right?
Yeah, the mediums just build bigger. I think you're right that we don't need a second medium. I think we just gamble, go for it.
Yeah.
We have another medium in the deck eventually. Yeah, let's just make them spend money, because again, we know most of the sites. This is a Hagen, the outside. Then it's a Surveyor, and then a Gatekeeper.
And a Gatekeeper.
Okay, so here we're going to counter. This could be a CVS, but we're not going to depend on it. So we're going to use 1 to lower the strength to 4. Then we're going to start Fausting the shit out of this. So we're going to get rid of the Puemo. We're going to get rid of that. We died a snare here, I guess. Which one do you want to keep?
I think the game is close enough to ending that we don't need to keep the daily casts.
Okay.
Am I wrong? Whenever you say that, I'm like, okay, maybe I'm, you know.
No, I think you're fine. I think you're right. I feel the same way about the medium, though. Like, we're going to win right here. It's a drafter.
Yeah, that's true. Like, I don't see us installing that other mediums.
Day job is so bad. We put off so much pressure, right? Like, for 8 credits, I don't think that's worth it.
Do you think triple clicking through the Fairchild is better than 2 cards and 2 credits?
Yeah, but it stopped us from playing hedge fund turn 1.
Yeah. Maybe next time we just click through.
We want to just draw a boomerang so we can contest the contest HQ, contest the remote here. I think we're just gonna drop once more because now we have pressure. Like next time we draw 2 cards when we run R&D, that's kind of where medium gets really good, right? Like having more mediums, that means the next turn the obelisk threat is real.
Looks like you overspent on Faust, unless everyone missed something.
Did I actually overspend on Faust?
You're supposed to spend 2 cards, one to get up to strength, one to break.
Oh yeah, you're right. I did. Right? Hey, I overspent on Faust. And they advanced single click. So that's actually scary because now Biotic Labor can change something. Yeah, you're right. I double boosted. Double medium all the way across the sky. Yeah, I definitely did. Thank you. It's 5 strength though? Yeah. Oh, no, but we used the data sucker to make it 4 strength. Did they go back to the toilet?
I didn't want to bring that up again, but then I'm glad you did, because now we can start talking about this again.
So they need 8 credits to score at server 1, so I'm just gonna take back any card. Thank you. So yeah, I think we can run this. I think we just put the boomerang on top of the surveyor and just go.
Yeah, for sure. Let's try that.
The thing is, like, if they don't res it, we get stranded. I think we can draw once.
Sure.
Fuck it.
Yeah,
I
mean,
that's good.
Okay, that's cool.
Actually, drawing. Yeah, okay, that's fine. The problem is we're not going to draw with obelisk. Obelisk is only R&D and HQ. Excuse. And if this is the winning agenda, like we just run archives and win. I don't think they res this, and then we have to deal with the gatekeeper, which is a bit annoying. But I think we just do 2 counters, 2 cards, a credit.
Yeah, bring it down to 4. That's fine.
That's a good thing about Day Job. It's a card that you don't feel bad discarding to Faust.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, not yet. Okay, so this could be a border control, which at that point they can't threaten a win out. Oh, another gatekeeper.
Ooh, interesting.
That's okay. That's no, that's actually 3 cards now. So we'd have to get rid of our boomerang. I think it's worth it because we probably win here. I don't know what else they advance that's not an agenda. I guess we haven't seen an NGO front yet.
We will have 2 more boomerangs in the deck. I don't see this as being the worst thing in the world. And this could be the game.
One more in the deck. Because one's on the table, right?
Well, that one's going to be... Oh, right, that one isn't used.
Well, yeah, we didn't use it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay, we'll go for it. We're already here.
Yeah, let's go for it.
Die to Junebug? Let's go. Once burned, always scared. Once burned, twice scared? I think that's expression. Single bet to Geos from the highest IQ you have a Netrunner? Yeah, I don't think it's unreasonable. Like, they're struggling with money. No, but we win.
It's measure once. Okay, there we go.
Cut twice. Count your fingers
twice, for
twice. Sure. Yeah. Yeah. We also have to access this, which that's fine. So that's a good game. There's a food in archives. Yeah, imping the agenda is actually was a really good play for us.
Yeah.
Good game. Day job is mine. I'm gonna do some stupid stuff now. Then recover next turn card. Yeah, I know, but ideally you want to recover at the same time. Like, you want to, you know, not have to take a turn to breathe. Like, a lot of good economies can put on pressure, make economy, and still have half a turn left. Is there some weird irony to the fact that Magnum Opus makes money at exactly the same rate as an ordinary job while requiring the same amount of time to operate? But it's more flexible. I think that's a really big point of it. It's like figuring out how to make a job that's on your own hours. It's a really big deal because the job requires you to show up the whole day, and you have to wear a name tag.
Yeah, but you don't have to put your name on the name tag.
No, you just need a name.
Yeah.
Okay. I think the boomerang was really good. I thought it wasn't going to be as good as it was, but the boomerang was good. But I think a big problem is that we don't have ice destruction. I feel like if we could just ice destruction R&D, we would absolutely just tunnel through R&D. Want to make some quick changes?
Put some hippos in there.
Put some hippos, yeah. Oh, I got to show you. I have to show you the replay system. It's really, really good.
Oh, yeah, please.
Okay. I'll show you right before we start. But let's start here. We'll get rid of a showing off, unfortunately. Sorry, everyone. Paladin Poema, we can probably go down to 2. We didn't see it, but whatever. It actually would have been good.
Probably same with Obelisk, right?
Yeah, Obelisk we can go down to 2. I think we probably don't need 3 imps. It's a meta thing. Like, that's our best card against assets. That's all we got. Tempest yells no in chat. I know, but like, I don't know. So let's put 3 hippo in. And we want more card draw. So what do we have for card draw? 0 is like pseudo card draw. When it's one of the best cards, especially if we have I've Had Worse, which is really good card draw. Well, actually, it's not that good, but they're really good together. But this is where slots get tight. Oh, we cut all the day jobs. Okay.
Sure.
So that's I've had worse. Do we play 0?
If we have I've had worse and we need more card draw, I think 0 makes sense. Maybe as a 1 of.
The 1 of, though, it's like really rough. I don't know. Another thing that we
Okay,
also could consider playing
of.
is we want to play an Ice Carver. That's a permanent data sucker. We can actually play 1 fewer data sucker for that, hopefully.
Yeah.
And if you notice this list, like we're really good if we can fit in well, actually maybe not so much because it's 2 cards for single action, but I think Career Fair looks okay. I think DreamNet's really good. I think DreamNet's really good for this deck, and then that's another reason why Career Fair gets a bit better, but now we're getting to too many cards. Right, we're at 46 at this point. Zandoria's Third Laundry? Yeah, Third Laundry's probably good, but now cards are an issue and we don't even have 0 yet. I don't know what to do here. Maybe we just cut the imps. Maybe we can even cut a medium if our card draw is better. But like 3 mediums kind of the obelisk play. Why did you boost Faust to 6? Because that card has 6 strength on the turn it's res Gatekeeper, even though it has a 0 written on it. On the turn you res it, it's 6 strength. I think we can cut the imps just to go into the thing that we want to do. Unfortunately, we put off a lot of our pressure for assets, but this is 45 cards. Our economy, in theory, got worse because we have 1 fewer Poemo. We have another Dirty Laundry, but we caught the act. Do we maybe play a 0? Can you move the camera to see the cards? Yeah, that's probably a really good idea. Can you move your faces, Chris? Yes, 100%. More 0, it's econ. We'll add 3 zeros, but I've had worse. And now we can cut maybe 1 card and we'll play 46 and feel happy.
All right.
We can cut a medium probably. Zeros? Yeah. It's one of the you mulligan for 0 a lot of times on Anarch.
Yeah, that's fair.
It's kind of busted.
But medium is like our win condition.
Yeah, I know that's kind of the issue, right?
And we have no other multi-access. I don't want to lose
1 medium, 1 Earthrise. Sorry, Pat. I read from chat. Cut you off.
That's okay. No, I think like if we could, and medium is one of those cards that we could, in theory, have multiples of out on the table. I think 3 of is fine.
Yeah, there's an argument for 2. JTFQ is saying 1 medium, 1 Earthrise. Medium is like our win condition solely, and it's where we're gonna put the pressure on and get obelisk combos. So I don't want to go down to 1 because we can't even like if it's in the bottom of our deck, like we don't do anything. When it comes to Earthrise Hotel, it's 6 free card draw, well, for 4, and that's really, really good with a Faust deck. It also gives us cards without having to spend a click, which is really good for Faust. I think we need to keep this for sure.
Now that we've got better card draw, can we drop 1 obelisk? 1 more obelisk?
I don't know, man. Maybe you're right that we more card draw, we can cut an Earthrise. Because the obelisk is really good card draw. It does what we want.
Yeah,
like getting an obelisk down early is a really big difference. 2 Faust, 2 Laundry. We can't tutor for Faust. If we don't draw Faust, though, we just lose the game. Like, we need a Faust turn 2. Oh, I guess we have Boomerang. Maybe not. I know it's gone, but I like Imp as HQ pressure. No suggestion for what I cut for it. Yeah, no, that's a problem. Imp is, I do agree with you. Imp is, like, incredibly good. Maybe we can cut a Poemo.
Go down to 1? I mean, our economy was fine last game and we never got it, so...
Lol, I guess it's playing L5R right now. Yeah, maybe we can cut a Poemo. I don't know. If we draw it, it's good. If we don't, it's garbage anyways. I'm a little over medium being back in the card pool. I hear you, Spooky, but I think I've had a lot of bad experience with it. Medium was like a card that wasn't excited to come back because so many decks are just medium delivery systems with Ice Destruction. I think it's the best card in the game right now, and I feel like if there's competitive tournaments, you'd see how busted Anarch is modernly. Quote me on that. I feel like if we were playing competitive tournaments and people were trying to break the game in standard format, I think all you'd see is medium all the time. Save replay. Zero Dream is more draws, so 2 Earthrise seems alright. Yeah, I think you're right. Maybe 2 Earthrise is better. We'll make that change, right? Just because I think we want the economy. Our economy is a struggle. So we'll cut an Earthrise and we'll just play the second Poemo. Because if we get Poemo down early, it's going to be like 5-6 credits of value. 46 is not the worst thing ever. We're a Faust deck. We want more cards, am I right?
That's true. Just more things to throw away.
Yo, Che, how's it going? How's the new year? Welcome. Cutting an Earthrise pains me. Fuck. Because I'm like so easily convinced by whatever chat says. So now I have to go open that and add them back in.
You submit to peer pressure so easily.
I really do. It's kind of the problem. Tenants here. All right, let's go. Waylon, building a better world. 49 cards. Having cards in hand actually matters if they see sort of score chest, so Faust is actually going to matter.
So will I've had worse.
Got 10 to a lovely 47. Yeah, we do have I've had worse. That's good, but it doesn't matter with Scorch, right? As long as if you have less than 4 cards in hand, you're fucked. Cutting, showing off pains us all. It's the best decision we made to the deck. Okay, we have an opening 0. We have a liberated. I think we just do credit, liberate, install, 0, hit it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, let's try it.
That's good enough. All right, so what are they going to have? A lot of operations, probably a kill package associated with the credit differential. I've seen a building a better world list online that didn't have a kill package at all. It was just kind of like rushing behind 3 copies of blockchain or whatever. This actually could look like it. So red level clearance. I still don't understand what the art on this is. It's meant to be a person, right? Like holding an orb?
Well, man, I certainly see like sunglasses, cool person glasses, holding some sort of orb or accessing an orb.
Science glasses. Like science fiction
science
glasses. Okay. But why are they holding an orb? What is the orb?
I just don't know. I wonder if this is one of the ones that was kind of deep dreamed, right? I wonder what the reference art was.
Yeah, that's the thing. Is like this one is harder to see the reference art. There's a whole bunch of I think the deep dream art that came out for this cycle, like I think fully operational red level clearance escape net. I struggle to see what the original art was. They're like really
fully
heavily deep dreamed.
Fully operational is.
I think it's meant to be like a city skyline.
Cityscape, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Netscape 2 is meant to be a skyline. Not all secrets lie in vaults. It's an anti-Urzeki. Oh man. Okay. No, you're all good. Oh wait, we can't play 0. Fuck. We should learn how to count.
Okay, so quick. Oh yeah.
Yeah, we could just hit this twice.
Yeah.
The other option is to draw once. I think we'll draw once. Hit this.
I draw once and hit it.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine.
All the X level clearances have sort of touching an orb theme. Do they actually? I've been seeing a lot the revised green level clearance, and that art slaps. Where it's like that weird.
Yeah, that's lovely. That's like a stag or
with
touching
the corkscrew. BABW Deji, what's up? Should have 3 RLC and BLC, red and blue. Red level clearance, blue level clearance. Oh, blue level clearance, yes. I think they should. I don't think it makes it a good ID, but I think they probably do. And I'm assuming that they're playing blockchain, which at least we relatively well deal with Quetzal and E3. Okay, I'm gonna eat Code Sleep. Hit a hippo. That's the best hit, I think. And at this point, I think we do nothing besides liberate it into Earthrise.
Yeah, let's do that. We need the card drawdown.
Yeah, we gotta find Faust. Dual Synergy and BABW stock buyback with the board.
With the board.
The board plays are good. Why not BLC too? It's just hard because their hand size is they can't manage it as well as other decks that can probably install as quickly. That being said, they have played 2 RLCs. So I don't know. It's weird because this is obviously a flexible card, but it's played for the same influence and very similar to the way that people play what's it called? What's lateral growth, right?
Yeah, that's true. It's pretty similar there.
Do we think we need to E3 this, or do we just want to do boomerang run? They have 2 transactions, so I'm just going to check out what the text on blockchain is. The corp gains, so yeah, it'd be fine. Team liquidation. Yo, Vincent, how's it going?
Interesting. Yeah, I think, yeah, let's boomerang it and run. See what happens.
Do we E3? Because what are we weak to on E3? We're weak to Spiderweb.
Okay, so we have to hit.
Oh, but then we don't have money. E3. Yeah, I think we just go for it.
Exactly. Yeah, just go for it.
And even if it's a blockchain, we Quetzal through one of them. And then this gives us clicks also, and this lets us trash an NGO. We have a credit. It's a slot machine. Okay. Not what I expected. That's pretty bad on the remote. We're going to boomerang that.
Yeah.
And we'll break the last one because that'll fuck with the stats online.
Yeah.
So we're going to draw into a Faust, a Dirty Laundry, and a Hippo. That's pretty good.
Curses, they say.
Oh, wait. Oh. Why did they resolve that subroutine? Oh, it didn't do anything, did it? Wait. Yeah, it didn't do anything, but they still resolved it. That's wild. It's a sandbox. Oh, that's huge. That's
okay.
huge.
Yeah, that would have been great. If I mean, it would have been terrible for us if they'd scored that. That's great.
Okay. Try to cram one out. That's always an important early risk. So I'm worried about, like, they don't have too much of a financial lead on us. If they were going to do like too big to fail into something, that might be an issue. So we could always just like play very cautious and liberate it twice. We could also like hippo 0 once in theory, but then we'll overdraw a bit. I think we can just like liberate it twice. We know that if we do hit 0, we're going to draw Faust Laundry.
True.
So we could always like 0 and then Dirty Laundry Archives. Nah, I don't want to lose this E3. I'm just going to hit this.
Yeah, it's kind of risky.
Hippo down, I think? I think the Hippo threat with Faust E3 is so strong. I think you need Ice Destruction with Faust. I don't think you can keep up with people building big servers. Okay, so now we know we don't need a breaker for this. Specifically when it's on the inside, that's the worst position by far, because its subroutine will almost never matter outside of trashing things, as opposed to being in front of ice that you need money to break with.
Yeah.
The top card is bottom before the reveal? Yes. It's bottom before the reveal, so we see the top 3 cards. So we know that there is a Faust on top. And wait, what? Oh, because we shuffled with Boomerang. Oh, never mind.
Oh, right. Huh.
Anti-synergy. Okay. Okay, so our economy is pretty shit. We don't have a Faust yet. They might not realize what we've realized. I think we can just like Hippo E3 and then we can start checking for barriers.
Yeah. Yeah, let's try that.
Like, what's bad here? Hitting a mouseless would be like annoying. BAPW clicking for cards is some of the saddest stuff in the world. It feels bad. I'll run HQ here. We'll force him to res. My Boomerang anti-synergizes with their ice. No res. Wow. What are we getting? Preemptive? Okay. That's a bit of a dirtle card, but lets them play the transactions. It also makes blockchain worse if they're playing it, which is
interesting.
Which is nice.
Not that blockchain needs that many subroutines. Do we want to try R&D?
I think we just
do we not want to risk running?
I think we just 0.
Okay.
We want to 0 once a turn. We lost our medium, whatever. We don't need a second E3. Why play Build a Better World when you have Titan or Blue Sun? Never saw the advantage in the ID. Tempest, you're right. In terms of like power level, there's no reason. It probably just doesn't. It doesn't do anything particularly interesting, and there's just not a card pool to support it. But people play it because it's fun and because they like the underdog. And playing transaction operations literally feels good. But you're right. It is not a particularly strong thing.
Have more options. I mean, I can see it being good for like a rush game, and if you play a transaction every turn or so, you're definitely getting money's worth pretty quickly.
So this is the bummer to me, right? Like gain 1 credit whenever you play transaction. Obviously that sounds good because you can play multiple transactions, but if it said gain 2 credits when you play the first transaction a turn, I think that makes it more interesting, right? It's also transaction operation. If that just said transaction card, then if they're transaction assets or upgrades, like that gets more interesting. But if it was more money, but only once a turn, then you start planning your turns. And this thing, you can just go like cash printer goes burr, which, you know, All right, we got the Puemo. They put something in server 1. If it's a Rashida, it's a problem. If it's anything else, we don't give a shit. We don't have medium anymore, which is a problem, but we can always...
Do we want to try poking it? Oh yeah, we can put down Puemo.
I think we want to do Puemo before poke. I think we do Puemo, poke, R&D.
Yeah.
And then when and if this fucks up, we put down Daily Cast. There's 1 ice that cares about transactions. Yeah, blockchain is actually like an okay ice. Nah, it's not great. It's 7 and then Paperclip eats it, let alone Quetzal E3 eats it, but it looks fun.
It's 4 strength, right?
Yeah, it's low strength. Okay, so we're gonna Quetzal that. Don't have to deal with that. That does block the Hippo, which is good positioning for them. This might mean that they have what's it called, advanceable ice support. But we don't want to Hippo that for sure. 3 credits doesn't get a lot. I think a Ket it gets. Maybe they have an Afshar. Okay. Single access Beanstalk royalties. That's a hedge fund for them. That's actually like pretty good. You can play it on 0. Do we run HQ? Daily casts? Yeah, fuck it. They don't have money. Yo, Rob, what's up? How's it going? It's been a minute. How are you doing? That's 2021. Yeah, let's run HQ. That's a spirit. So we've seen a preemptive. That's an NGO. We'll take that down and we'll just play a casts. And we are technically behind in the credit lead. So like, I don't know, CU into something. BBW is definitely just meant to be an ID for a player that doesn't want to think about playing around their ID, core set material, just like Stronger Together. Oh, wow, okay, so that is a Naked Atlas, which is actually, I think, really bad for them, because now if we top deck into a medium, we can go what you call hog wild. So let's start with the ruining. They have a beanstalk, so they're going to be able to recover. So I think we're going to 0 into a medium. We missed it. We lost our one dream net. Feels bad.
Yep.
I think we actually are going to hippo this.
Sure.
Man, our imps actually would be good in this matchup. Do we put down the obelisk? I think we do.
Yeah, because we'll draw up. Good.
Yeah, we'll end up canceling this. 2021 somehow keeping up with 2020 from ETBH. Oh, that's really a bummer to hear, man. Hopefully you're holding on enough. Charles, I missed a notification. I'm so sorry. How's it going though? It's a second ice wall. We do draw a card though. Dirty Laundry is pretty good. We're just gonna go HQ.
Yeah, sure. Let's try it.
Let's steal an agenda. So we know preemptive, we know beanstalk, so we know half their hand. And they jammed that agenda. They might have either they couldn't protect it, scorched earth. Okay, so we have to keep that in mind.
Okay,
That means they almost definitely have C-Source or SIU. I'm glad to see E3 implants Quetzal versus Core Wayland. All right, there you go. Beanstalk, credit. Let's see if they got the hedge fund. They do. They're up at 10. So now this can be an issue. Archer is not a problem. I think we just slam R&D. We face check anything, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Face check anything. Oh, we also could just put down Kangamato for the the biggest safety valve. And Kangamato Hippo, fucking disgusting. So gross. Love seeing how many Salmem cards are floating around the wild. Yo, it honestly for you know, not the hyper competitive stuff always, they did actually add a lot of deck building for a lot of players just trying to build fun combos, and that's really cool. I think E3 is a big culprit of that. There's a sandbox, we'll take it.
Okay.
I think I want to put down our safety Kangamato.
And then 0?
If we hit the I've had worse, it'll be a nightmare. I feel like we can just lib and take lib.
Yeah, that makes
It's not sense. Card draw, but it lowers the amount of cards in hand, so next turn the I've had worse trigger is a bit easier to hit. I don't know. Okay, but we have to watch out for Scorcher. We have one card in hand, so they have to double Scorch us. E3 is good, yes. Yo, pick one. I haven't played enough SanSan City Grid. We played it the first week and we built a horrible deck that couldn't afford to res it, and since then I haven't played it or haven't seen it. Ice and R&D, something in server 1. This is called a fork. Why not lib double click? We probably could have. I didn't plan to turn out too well, honestly. I'm gonna 0 to start for sure. Oh no, we got to get the hippo down for sure. Then we'll 0. Okay. This is our final hippo. I think we lost one in the early game. Yeah, this is our final hippo. Something in server 1. Again, no advancements on it. Did we see Rashida at some point, or I think that's the other game? Yeah, hippo and before run jog, totally. So we could definitely run this, and most it'll cost us 3 credits. I think we want to run it and force them to res.
Do we hippo first? See if we get anything interesting?
Oh, you mean 0?
Yeah, 0.
Yeah, okay. Okay, we hit our 0. That's fine. We do have a Faust and a Data Sucker. I think we're just going to run server 1.
Cool.
I feel like every deck that can afford to get doofed can afford to res SanSan. Yo, we built a bad deck, though, that couldn't afford to get goofed, or doofed. So I hear you. Event resource. So we actually don't have a way to break that.
Well, why'd you run? Sorry, that was mean. I shouldn't have. You know what, I gotta take a break.
Do we Kangamato that? We still have 2 more. I think we do. It's worth it.
Kangamato E3, sure.
Yeah. Oh, I actually didn't consider. Wait, 1 second. Break the first subroutine. Okay, that's actually good for us. Sorry, Pat?
Oh, yeah, because if it didn't Gukabahali, it would have been a
it would have been actually a fair bit worse. That's a Rashida. That's good to trash. Yeah. And I'm just going to take the money so we don't have to worry about the single Scorch in hand, I suppose. And then next turn we get Faust, but we do have to 100% play around kill. They also could be on Trebuchet and stuff like that, but they would probably res it. They're drawing. Sorry, that's the poutine again. It's poutine week. It's a cultural event.
Yeah, I am looking forward to picking up that seafood curry poutine at some point. Again, to Dondre, it is a nightmare scenario, but
Sounds awful. Whoa, they're preemptiving. That
okay.
is not good on tempo. Like, they're not doing much. I guess they're just gonna get transactions back into their deck. So red level, NGO front. Okay. So we have a window
but
to
they're just doing
slam.
it because they have nothing else to do.
Yeah, but at that point, I think you just want to draw, or I don't know.
Yeah, I was about to say, like, if I were in their case, I would have drawn once at least, and maybe
so
I wasn't expecting an turn.
We gotta play around snare. We gotta play around scorched. So do we do like Faust, Sucker, Archives? I don't know. DreamNet Sucker Archives would have been sick.
Mm-hmm.
I think we can play both of these and then just do a 50-50 on the IFAD worse.
Yeah, sure. Well, that makes sense.
You feeling lucky, man?
No. Let's try it.
Damn, I'm good. I missed, but just increases the odds.
Next time, it's going to be amazing.
Oh, God, we're going to get him next time. So if we run here, we actually do risk some sort of like Econ Warfare, Caesar, Scorch. It's super unlikely with only 2 cards in hand. But we could either like take 4 or run Archives. I think we'll just take 4.
Sure.
Yeah, that's fine. I suppose I'm doing fine.
People are yelling in the chat right now. I'm not comfortable with it.
Jogging has that effect on people. He comes in screaming, and then everyone else starts yelling. And I just appreciate, you know, the vibe. It's nice. Next time you play casts and you have a 100% shot, yeah, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do we even play cast for the 100%? I don't think we do. No, we'd feel stupid if we missed it, wouldn't we?
Yeah, that would be very stupid if we did that.
Okay, so normally first click cast is a very bad play. But buckle up, friends.
Not in this case.
Not in this case.
There we go.
Okay, Ice Carver looking actually pretty okay. We do have the medium threat. They probably are in Cyberdex Virus Suites if they're in Sandbox, let alone Macrophages. But we're really not, they're not threatening anything. But I think we want to get the medium down at all costs.
Yeah. How many mediums have we lost this game? Do we have just 1 in Archives? Okay.
Yeah, so 1 more. So do we do medium run? It's like really weak to snare.
Whew.
What are we going to need Ice Carver for? Like, it's really good with Mouseless. It's really good with Slot Machine. End of list.
I feel like spending the 3 credits on it is not worth it right now.
Okay, but I don't want to play medium here. Like, I don't want to show them we have medium.
Yeah, I get that. You don't want to play medium until you can run. But yeah. I like the idea of just medium. And is medium and run too much?
Yes, because I'm like so averse to. We died to snare Scorch, and we know they have Scorch. And like, this seems like a deck that would play snare because we've seen very little influence, and they're playing Ice Wall and Beanstalk.
All right, so why don't we play Ice Carver then? And
yeah, okay, Ice Carver liberated. I think that's fair. I think that's good. Oh, Corpus acting? The fuck? Okay, I think they just missed. Gamble install Carver? Yeah, I think we did liberate Carver just for cards in hand, but less cards in hand is actually kind of nice because it's 0 abstractly. Okay, single advance, double advance, could be an NGO, could be the bad pub that we're gonna not be able to use. Actually, no, we used it pretty well with E3 feedback. No, I'm kidding. True. All right, let's go. 14 credits though. We actually probably could have considered I've had worsting here. I don't know how many cards we have. So the camera's the outermost, probably because of Hippo Respect, but they do have Archer. There's a Surveyor. Okay.
Okay, interesting. So that's 4 strength.
Yeah.
That's fine.
That's fine. So we'll do one of those. And again, do we just take the Trace 2? I think we just take the Trace 2. No, it costs us less than
Trace
3.
Yeah. It's Trace 4, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Am I missing there?
No, you're totally right. It's X, which is twice the stack.
Yeah.
Which Hippo does put on pressure onto that, which is kind of cool. Okay, we'll break that with this. So now we still die to snare. Oh, actually, we draw with Obelisk after. And so, yeah, so we
do still draw to snare.
We do die to snare, but at least we get our bad pub value. It's literally free to break with E3. Yeah, I know. I didn't realize that was a bad idea. Archer. Okay, good to know. We do have a boomerang for the Archer.
Okay.
So that boomerang is gonna go pretty far. We could run Archives a couple times to provoke a purge. We know there's not a CVS in it. I think we need to get more card draw down. We need like an Earthrise, and I wish we didn't cut the 3rd Earthrise because it's like the best install right now.
So we just draw here?
Yeah, I think so. And I don't think we need the credits. I think we just draw to a full hand.
Yeah.
Fuck, it's really hard to zero when we have boomerangs in our hand. Maybe I'm a coward. That's good.
Just pretend you never saw the boomerang. That's what you would tell me if in this situation.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think I saw the archer and I'm like, oh, Paul, this boomerang's gonna be really good. Let alone we can pretty much guess that there's an 8 strength surveyor on the remote, which is pretty good with boomerang.
Sure.
We also haven't seen a border control yet. But this is the real threat now, because like when we run R&D, we're gonna draw 2 cards with medium, which is substantial. Are you gonna give us another bad pub? Oh wow, okay.
Interesting.
So
is it NGO? Is it 3-pointer?
It's NGO or food, right?
Yeah.
Do we say fuck it? If they score that food though, they win off of the last hostile.
They
can't risk too much. Like this looks more like an NGO. Because like
they can't win off the last hostile if we've dug through R&D and stole them all.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Do you boomerang the surveyor?
Yes.
You think?
Yeah, why not?
I don't know.
Okay, you seem pretty confident. I thought maybe you knew. Again, I'm being really catty tonight.
I don't know. Yeah, we got a good Obelisk draw value off this, which is really nice. The thing is, like, throwing away this boomerang prevents us from contesting the remote in a really reasonable way. Oh, wow. Okay. Well,
it's fine, right?
I don't think we hippo that. Oh, no, we probably... Do we hippo that? Like, it fucks with the surveyor. This is always going to be a card for us. Or we could just Quetzal it. Like, are we going to run R&D again this turn? Probably not, because we want to get Obelisk value. Next turn? Actually, we could.
I think Quetzal and destroy it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I want to keep this for something bigger, because they have bigger eyes, but okay. I think that's fair. It does make
our plan was to tunnel into R&D and...
Yeah. Please Quetzal Hippo. I don't know. I feel like I want more value from that. That's our last Hippo. So now we draw 2 cards. Seasaurus, good to know. Rashidi Yahim, trash that. Shuffle it back. Thank you. Okay, so now we can run. This is trace 2, trace 2. So this is actually just a card and a credit.
Yeah. That's affordable.
That's 2 new accesses. That's very affordable. And if they score out a food here, if they score an Alice, it's a bit different, because then they can like really goof with us. We also could, oh no, we have to break it. The E3 uses our bad pub really well. Saving for value is a good way to lose a lot of resources on the board. That's fair.
And we don't want to pay for the traces because we are playing around Seasaurus, like trying to keep our money up.
Yeah, our money is so up though. So we're going to see 2 more cards here. We honestly could just trace through this. It saves us a card. Is a card worth 3 credits?
I think pay the
I think
card.
So. Really?
I think so.
Yeah, this Dirty Laundry is 3 credits. Yeah, that's fine. So Snare actually still kills us last click. What are we doing?
No, it doesn't.
Scorched.
Totally survive us.
We've seen 3 Scorched. So if there's some way to Scorch us here, which I don't know what this would be to give us a tag. Double Snare? Yeah, I guess so. Oh, it's an NG. Okay. So the credit differential is a bit more dodgy, because if they do Economic Warfare, Caesar, Snare, we actually die. I think that's the reason why the card actually matters in our hand, because there's a chance we die here. Okay, no, it looks like we're good. Okay, double ice. Again, if we get through it, though, it's worth every single card.
Absolutely.
And we know one of these is an archer. So, do we Congomato, sure gamble, 0?
Yeah.
And then run
R&D? Makes perfect sense to me. Yeah.
Die to Snare. Oh wait, this is 6 strength now. Okay, so we'd have to do like a lot of Data Sucker. Well, so this is the weird window, because they purge, right?
Yeah.
No, we don't want to draw last click. I think we go HQ if anything. No, but we knew what they drew. So you don't want to do
So are you sure that an archer is on R&D? Is that what you're saying?
Yes. One of these is an archer, which if they res is fine, because we have Congomato E3. Like we don't care, we're laughing. But like I think the only way to deal this is to like boomerang Surveyor. If we don't boomerang Surveyor, it's gonna be really hard. But guys, if we go R&D here, we draw 4.
We have 4.
We only have 9 cards in our stack.
We have 4 data sector tokens. The surveyor is not that bad.
I don't believe in this. We'll go. Okay. If we spend a lot of cards and get border controlled, we're in a bad spot. We can just let the border control fire. I think HQ better. Okay, the Archer res puts them really far back. So we could consider, because that's the thing, is they purge, and we're only seeing 1 new card here. Like the draw 4 is kind of bad. I think we just Kangamato this.
Yeah, Kangamato E3. Perfect.
And now this is going to be a border control and another surveyor. It's going to be a nightmare. Oh, macrophage.
Interesting. Okay, well,
even worse.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I think break the jack out was legit there because I don't think we're going to go through here. We should have jacked out. We didn't hit the button.
Yeah.
Did we say has no further action? Actually, did we say that? No, we could have jacked out here. Shouldn't they have waited for us? Did we actually say that we have no further action? Did we pass up our window? Did I fuck up?
Who in their right mind said R&D? Well, now
no, I know R&D was I think really bad because like we're gonna spend cards and we're gonna draw 4. It's gonna be half our deck. We have to discard cards if we don't, and then we see 1 new card with medium. Like,
there's a really chatter thing. You clicked pass and continue.
Okay, so I did fuck up. All right,
this is
purge
fine.
virus counters. That's
fine.
I think we just trace through these.
Yeah, I guess we have to. We've got the credits.
Yeah. Okay. Well, so the first one we're gonna pay. The second one we're gonna pay. The third one, no. The last one, probably not. Matter. Chasing's probably right. Maybe. Yeah, I think 100%. We have a lot of money. Money games, yeah, right. And the thing was like this only sees 1 more card. I think we jack out past this macrophage, which means we fucked up really bad. Hopefully, the best case scenario is they boost into the last trace.
I think we would keep going because they're going to purge anyway.
Yeah, but then we see 1 new card, man, and then we draw like half our deck and we have to throw it out.
That's okay.
Like if they purge, it's fine. We just camp here. That's the problem though. Is like at the end of our deck, like we have no breakers. We have nothing to do. Did a BYBA player just say money games? Yeah, exactly. So this one's worth doing. I don't know. We still have to steal 2 more agendas too, right? Because assuming they're on food.
Yeah.
Trace 2? What? They boosted this one?
Huh.
Okay.
What's in our heap that they want destroyed so badly?
I don't know. The medium. Oh, weird. Right. That's weird. I don't know how we get that back.
Deja Vu is back.
Well, like you can simul chip it in. Oh, they did the purge virus counters again. That's not right. Yeah, the chat log says that they fired the wrong trace. Let me move our faces just a wee bit. Okay, let's see how this goes. Wait, which trace is this? Wait, which trace is this?
They're doing the first trace again. I think it must be bugged. How do you get through this bug?
Yeah, so it shouldn't be. So you spent okay. So you won. You did spend 3 though. Okay, so they're doing trace 2. Know which card I missed? Not medium. Yo, Paul, what up? 3 total right, boost 2. Oh yeah, totally. Yeah, totally. Yes. Very good. So this is a trace 3. So we can pay 3 credits to get through here. And then we can spend all their data sucker counters, a card and a credit, to draw fucking 4 cards, which I don't think we want to do. So yeah, I think we just let them. The card
draws make me think this is about.
We just let them end the run. Unfortunately,
I hadn't taken that into account.
Fires
and Obelisk is not a Obelisk is a must, right? Not a may.
Yeah, it's a may. A must. It must. What is this virus 4? What is that? Shit. Counter virus 4. Because they're gonna purge anyways, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So ETR? Yeah. Counter VX, thanks guys. Well, let me pass. No worries. It's still tracing. Close prompt. Okay. All right, sick. We probably purge anyways, and now we're gonna run out of breakers. We're literally gonna run out of cards. Whoa, we jack it? Totally. They did the math for nothing. They didn't draw cards last turn, did they?
Hadn't we already drawn from Obelisk this turn?
No, we no, I don't think so.
Okay.
We did. Okay, what did we do? We installed Gamble, Kangamato. I've had worse run in R&D.
Okay.
Another bad publicity. Okay, so that's the issues. I don't know where the agendas are. Now we see 2 cards on R&D. We have 1 more Kangamato. I think we just go HQ here. We install the Kangamato, go HQ. We're gonna have to win off of the remote, which is a problem. We might need Trope. The problem with Trope is it's just like, it's not good. It's too slow. You need to get it early. It's a bad card in the really early game. I don't know. I think we just want to win sooner. So maybe we have to tunnel harder, play more ice destruction like Cutlery or something. Because we were hippoing ice walls, which probably is a mistake when we can get Saldies every turn, once a turn. I think hippoing these were straight wrong when we could like hippo threaten a macrophage, a surveyor, or an archer, and this we break for free once a turn. So I think hippoing the ice walls. I said it before, and I don't know. I think it's wrong.
No, I ignored you, and I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. It's learning. I'm not blaming anyone. That's fine.
This feels like there's a lot of blame.
Okay, Pat. Maybe if you.
I know. Again, maybe it's just me.
All right. So this is a card to get through. We're gonna give him the card. Okay. So we'll Faust a card here. We will lose 2 credits to Bad Pub, and what card are we getting rid of? It's either cast or liberated, huh?
I guess it's the casts.
Cast is 5 credits clicklessly, but our clicks are not that important right now. I think you're right. If we need a trope, we need a new deck. Rob, that's rude, but yes, that's correct. That's the problem with Faust, is you can't rely on it. Like, putting 1 of each heat breaker in this deck would be fine, and you probably should do it, because relying on solely Faust is probably a mistake. Or just play another sort of like weird breaker suite, like Maven, and just be good enough. Hardware program. They gain 3, we lose 3. I feel like that's acceptable. I don't want to use a Kangamato.
It'd bring us even. That's interesting. Makes the C-source score closer to relevant.
No, they're only on 8. We're on 14. It's a mouseless. We draw a card. Okay. Telenesis.
Oh, I thought it hadn't happened yet. Yeah. I thought we'd both be at 11.
Scrub, what's good? The best Netrunner player combo tonight? Hell yeah. How's it going? So, provoke to purge is a thing, but R&D is just like so off limits. We basically can wait and hopefully they don't purge, and we run like 1 big run in R&D and hopefully win. Do we just put down Earthrise? Draw once?
Yes.
Yeah, we'll draw once first. And, if we play that down, actually our money gets a bit tight.
And it's going to draw 6 of our last 7 cards.
That's good though. But like we ran, I don't want to go to 11 to 8 because they can like too big to fail C-source. Even Scorch for value would actually be really good at this point.
Because they must know we don't have many I've had worse left.
Yeah, no, we're out. We're kind of bogged down in this tempo I'm setting, I think. Yeah, it's slow and dirtily. Unfortunately, like they just don't feel like they can score out, which is probably correct. But now they just drew a shit ton. So we hopefully win on R&D. Hedge fund for 9. Okay. And if we miss, we die.
Yeah, so this is worth it. We're going to see 5 cards.
So which one do we boomerang? Archer or Macrophage? Or Surveyor. I'll try to speed up here. I know worries. Oh, Rebirth would have been fucking so good, Morskafin. Jesus Christ. You think with medium there, you could be some good Alice Begot Ma medium shenanigery? I don't know if Alice is nice. It really is nice, but I think just Rebirth into Omar would be so good in this list that we should be doing it at all costs. Especially because we're so medium focused. I forgot about Rebirth. Okay, thinking.
Yeah. So we boomerang one of these 3 cards, right?
Yeah, it largely doesn't matter because we're gonna have to be boosting to 6 strength, anyways. Yeah. So we're gonna have to deal with one of these the hard way. Oh no, so we Kongamato Archer, fine. We boomerang this. No, we boomerang this and we strength that. Okay, let's go.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you, my little.
We still have the 5 data sucker tokens, so the
yeah, exactly. No, it'll be fine, and hopefully we win here because they drew a lot. Bad pub, mostly. So which 2 subroutines do we want to get? We don't actually have to break all of these. We want to do the Purge, we want to do the Trash, and we want to do the End the Run. Oh, excuse me. Purge, Trash. We'll do E3 for End the Run. Done. All subroutines fire, don't care. Yeah, we do get a lot of cards here. We do actually draw 5 cards, which is most of our deck.
Yep, and we've got 2 clicks left to do something with them.
To install all of them and lose.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so they haven't purged yet. So we'll make it 4 strength. Oh man, Ice Carver. That's a good card, huh?
It's not taken. Ice Carver isn't taken into account automatically. Interesting.
It is on encounter because it's only during encounter.
Oh, it is on encounter. Okay.
Yeah. So we'll get rid of the Earthrise because we're never going to need it anymore.
Sure.
So we're going to draw our whole deck. And hopefully we win the game.
Now I'm a little too optimistic. I don't know what's going on with me today.
We honestly maybe should not trash red level clearance. Okay, that's good. Shit.
Okay. So we're close.
We're definitely close.
One thing. Yeah.
So now we run HQ, right?
Yeah, they drew enough that we might see. Well, no, we know most of what they drew, right?
Yes, but we have nothing else to do with all these cards unless we can get back in here, unless we do Boomerang Run Back, which would see us 2 new cards. Because the problem is, like, we're going to have to discard cards.
3 new cards. Because we stole one, we trashed one, and we
trashed one. Yeah, you're totally right. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So
boomerang to see 3 new cards sounds okay to me.
Yeah, boomerang 3 new cards is how we win. Or lose. Sorry to beat this dead horse, but oh man, showing off would be so good here. Yeah. Fuck off, you're right. You're so right. You're 100%. Yeah, right. No, it's not. Yeah, you're right. You're right. It would be good here. You're totally right. Them Gendies are in hand. Just look at their ID. Okay. So you gotta figure this one out. This is a puzzle. We're looking at 3 Kongamatos in the bin. So we want to boomerang something. The Archer, this fucking matter what we boomerang here. Does it matter what we boomerang? No, it doesn't.
Well, we boomerang Macrophage because we can use Data Sucker plus card on Surveyor.
But it's actually better to boomerang the Archer because this will be even strength with
Oh, true.
Right?
Yeah.
Andre doesn't believe in the showing off. I don't. And I'm wrong right now. We could have gave them 2 credits. We're gonna die to Scorched here, so the money sort of matters. Oh wait, do we have enough counters for this? I didn't count anything, obviously. So this we want to use an even number of counters. So 6, 5, 4.
That's okay. We've got enough spare cards that we.
Yeah, we have a lot of spare cards here. So we'll start breaking it. So strength throughout the Obelai. Oh, we actually could have gone tag me and kept our hand size up if we like let the Surveyor fire. Like we can get the 2 tags and then hopefully. Oh no, they have 2 Scorched. We have 3 Scorched actually. They have 3 Scorched. Maybe we don't do that. Okay, so that's 1, and then we'll. I don't know where we're at this point. What did we just do? To increase the strength of 4. Okay, so now we have to break. Purge is bad. And then we can spend cards or credits. I want to have a modicum of cards in hand so we don't die to single Caesar Scorch, even though I know they have double, but the money might be harder. Then we'll do this, and we'll break this, and then done. Let off Subroutine's Fire. Oh, keep either worse than 5 cards in hand. We don't die to Scorch unless we get really unlucky. Yes, but it's just as good as keeping 4 cards in hand. 4 cards is actually better because then you don't die to to doubles. No, you still do.
No, yeah.
But it's less.
Yeah, you at least
it changes
get the
nothing.
First. If they're running Traffic Accident, then
you need 2 tags though. Nope. 5 cards don't die to double. 4 cards. Oh, you're right. 5 cards you don't die to double unless you get really unlucky at the 20%. Okay, no, yeah, 100% that's correct. But we are going to die anyways because we're not going to have enough cards. So this is 4, and then we'll do boost. So we died a single Scorched here. Sorry, we'll do break.
Well, no, because we are going to be drawing the last 3 cards.
Obelisk is only once a
turn. Because it's only once per turn, right?
Yeah. All right, let's go. We know they have 3 Scorched in hand, so the chance of this finding an agenda seems pretty good. IPO, okay. Sandbox, damn, we're fucking good. SDS, drone deployment, get the fuck out of there, medium. Atlas. Oh, the agenda's in there.
All 3 of those cards.
Medium is so silly. And you know what? We spent 105 credits somehow. I don't believe that. Thanks for the game. Oh. Yeah, 3 new cards are exactly 3 new agendas. That's actually pretty buck wild, Murska.
Yeah.
Hey, catch your round. Woo! And if that obviously didn't steal a single agenda, we would have died to Caesar Scorch on the spot. Sure. Yeah, they didn't have any agendas because we know that they have 3 Scorch in hand. We know that they have a preemptive. No, they played that. I think we know that they have a mouseless because they just top decked it. So we actually knew 4 out of 5 cards. So going HQ didn't seem that good. I think we know 80% of HQ. We die there to Scorch. And I think they have the Sea Source, so I think we know all the hand. If that doesn't work. I mean, fuck yeah, of course we won the game. Oh boy. But I know, yeah, for sure. Drawing twice last turn made that play viable. I think you just purge and play slow, and I run out of cards for Faust. Yeah, if they played slow, and especially if they jammed NGO fronts or anything else in the remote, I think we lose that. Because we did need to see actually pretty deep to find the agendas. Bummer. Yeah, that's okay. I don't. If that's how you learn, sounds condescending. For sure. What was it on server 1 in HQ? It was an Afshar on server 1, and this remote was actually Archer, which if they res, I don't think they win the game, and a Surveyor piece. Yeah, their early gamble behind the slot machine, like that cost them pretty dearly. That being said, we did have Boomerang, so I think we get through every single piece of ice they put there. So the Boomerang was good. Oh, that's a slot machine. Yeah, that's an altered slot machine on HQ or a full art slot machine, excuse me, on HQ and R&D. Yo, Pat. Holy shit, yeah, it's almost 11 o'clock already. We haven't even deck builded. But do you want to talk about some tweets?
Yeah, let's talk about some tweets.
Yo, have you all seen this? This is incredible. So June Cuervo is the new lead designer. What is the formerly lead design at Duelist, currently the lead designer in Project NISEI. So Gregory Tung left that position, I don't know how long ago, a couple months ago, and now June Cuervo is doing it. And June has some pretty good chops when it comes to game design. I don't know if you ever played Duelist. I played a bit of Duelist. My roommate back in the day played a shit ton of Duelist, but it was like a competitive 1v1 card game dueling game. So it was really, really cool.
Tactical turn-based card-based game.
Honestly,
yeah,
it would slap as a board game. I think it'd be really cool as a board game. But so June has been working on cards for NISEI, and they came out with a series of tweets. talking about like some of the designs and some of the features in Netrunner, and it is some pretty wild stuff that you need to read this, because there's some really interesting things and people have strong opinions about them, and just talking about them is awesome. This is also like the most news that we've got about the development of Netrunner for the future, and there's some really, really positive stuff in here. So let's go through a string of tweets. I don't know how Twitter works, so I'm hoping if I open this, okay, I think we nailed it.
It looks like you have all the relevant tweets ready. Yeah.
Awesome. Tempest, can you change alt arts into Jinteki? If you donate, you have the choice between what versions of arts for certain cards you can see. Okay, let's read this. So June says, with Gateway upon us and NISEI already working actively several cycles after Gateway, one of which is quite a far along in testing, I wanted to talk a bit about the overall design goals I have for Netrunner as the lead designer and what players can expect. A big thread, and a big thread it is. And you're going to see something really cool here, is that it seems really rough for a lot of people because NISEI hasn't released anything that tangible in a while, but NISEI is like 3 sets ahead in terms of design. Like they're in for the long haul, they're doing a lot of testing, and playtesters are not even testing Gateway, they're done there, they're not even testing the next thing, they're even testing sometimes the things after that. So that is so cool to hear for someone who hasn't seen a lot of Netrunner cards. Like you're going to get those cards and there's going to be a lot of them. All right.
Yeah, it's very reassuring.
Yeah, for sure. The first thing is decreasing game length. My target range is in the 15 or so minute mark for an average physical game. Some decks will play longer or shorter, but I'm trying to avoid the 40-minute game net grind fest being a staple of the game. This drew a lot of opinion. Yeah. How do you think about this? 15-minute games is very far from what's happening tonight.
It depends on how you make that. Like, do you make like cheaper to score bigger agendas? Do you like? Yeah, it depends. Like, it obviously means players have to win quicker for that to happen.
Yes.
And yeah, so I guess that's.
Yeah, I think you're right. And it's going to make a bit more sense once we read one of the following things in the thread, talking about how the game's going to work. I didn't want to spoil that. But okay, so let's talk about this. 15-minute on average games, that's pretty fast. Like if you play a 15-minute game in a tournament for Netrunner for the last like couple whiles, that means you're playing some sort of like tightened game or like some classically mid-seasons game where they fuck up on turn 2 and you win. Those were fast games. Those were the decks you played at tournaments so you could get breaks between rounds. Most rounds at tournaments would go to 65 minutes, would go to time or go near to time. And that's a really big deal when a round at a tournament can be to half an hour. Now, there's a big issue, like the last game that we played, like admittedly not too much is going on, but the game took a really long time. And sure, a bunch of that was we had to click on a lot of stuff when dealing with E3 feed dependence and Faust and data sucker and all that sort of stuff to get accesses. But like it takes a really long time, but I think the amount of decisions we make per time, it doesn't line up too equally, I don't think.
Yeah.
Oh, 50 minutes is a target for 2 pros playing, not counting deep thunks. Yeah, that's actually true too. Now, that's a problem with the game, is there's a huge range in how long games can go. And I think you do see some players who see a matchup that they know is going to take 45 minutes, 50 minutes to be a grind on something that they don't think they have winning odds, and they don't like that idea. I do like the idea that if you lose a game, at least you lose it quickly, which is nice because then it's not a big deal.
Try to go get a drink of water or play another game.
Yeah, and that's actually like more on par when it comes to things like Hearthstone or games like Magic the Gathering Arena, from my understanding. Like you can grind out games in an hour, and you know if you play a Magic game, you can squeak that in. You'll know you'll be done in 20 minutes or whatever. But the fact that the game is going faster, how that's going to work is interesting. When I originally read this, I was a bit concerned about it because I felt if the games are really fast, that means there's going to be a lot of explosive plays for better or worse. But I feel like, you know, when you see a long Netrunner game, there's in a lot of the most interesting competitive games, there's actually like a really strong narrative, and you see like who's ahead, who's behind, you see cool plays that turn that sort of tempo, and you actually see like a pretty deep narrative. And I felt like closing that down not only gives less turns and less plays for players to shine, but it becomes less interesting to some extent. Maybe someone's winning and then they quickly close the game out, stuff like that. So I obviously don't know, but if someone told me that you could get in like 3 games of Netrunner in an hour, that does kind of sound cool.
Yeah, that sounds very cool. I get what you were saying about them, like the idea that you want a game that can go back and forth a few times. Like that is very exciting to play, but certainly being able to play up to 4 in an hour is a good counter to that.
Yeah. I just want to caption chat. It's a Twitter thread, not a priority list. It's a very strange item to lead with. Yeah, Jazz, I don't think it's a priority list. I think these are just things that that June wanted to bring up in she didn't say specifically in any order. Maybe it would also allow smaller decks. Yeah, Diogene, actually, for what I understand, the gateway decks are smaller decks. They're 40 card decks. I don't know whether it's going to be representative of Netrunner as a whole. And to some extent, I fear also smaller decks, because a big problem we have with Netrunner is putting in those extra fun decks, like the showing off. It's always like the 47th, 48th card, because you already need a lot of deck space, specifically also in Corp, just to get the fundamentals down before you can start adding flavor. I feel like if decks on average get smaller, you'll probably see less flavor. But again, card design can fix that entirely. Seems problematic for too much power cards. The balance is very hard to nail it off. Yeah, the balance is all definitely going to be difficult, but it's difficult no matter what they do, I think. Why not shoot for like 20 to 25? Scrub, there's a chance that that number is like a bit of a, I don't know whether you want to call it a low ball or a high ball, but it just gets people talking. And that's, you know, 50 minutes for an average physical game. That's pretty quick, right? Like people shuffle sometimes for 2 minutes. I don't know. But we'll see. What if aim for 15 and hit 25? Yeah, right? Like, I think it's going to be like that. I'd be really surprised if it was 15 minutes. Fast advance, Jeff says better packages, worse ice, better breakers. Yeah, maybe. But that's another thing. And again, I don't know shit about this. But when it comes to that sort of stuff, like worse ice, better breakers, then it comes more to like the RNG of random accesses. I don't have anything intelligent to say. We'll go through the list, though, because it's going to make more sense in a second. Number 3, the main objective in this is just to keep the game snappier and quicker to fit into a busy schedule, while also ensuring less tournament matches are going to time. Part of ensuring games are drawing to a conclusion is the next major design goal. So that kind of answers that. They want faster and snapper goals just so that, you know, tournaments go to time. The whole game net thing, for what it's worth, though, like was a problem that existed specifically for one tournament. And I think the NISEI MWL addressed that pretty quickly. I agree that that sucked, but I think that it sucked less because the games were long, but more because the games were uninteresting. I'm okay with a long game if it's exciting.
Yeah.
But anyways, this is the design goal. Number 4, increase the power level of win conditions across the board for runners and corps. I'm encouraging less card design to be about nickel and dime economic interaction and more about setting up dynamic and interactive haymaker punches. This is also very interesting. Okay, so we can break this down. Increase the power level of win conditions. Power level of win conditions is something in Netrunner that has been so fought against. So many people, myself included, if you watch my old videos, will see cards that are designed to be strong win conditions, and we will say, fuck you, this is bullshit. MC austerity policy, fuck you, this is bullshit. Jeeves, not Jeeves. What's the name of that doctor? Marcus Batty, fuck you. Hard-hitting news. What are you thinking? Like, these are sort of cards that get banned in alternate formats because people are tired of playing against them. And that is sort of the opposite design. And we'll, in the later thread, they talk about how, and I've heard this sort of from playtesters, and this is confirmed here, that like those strong win conditions are very present in the following cycles. And it's weird. I'm excited for it because I think it makes the game less about like strong economy. And I agree with the nickel and dime thing. So many of the cards in the Nisei set have been about getting a credit a turn and figuring out how you do it. Is it through Puemo? Is it through Rizeki? Is it through Az? Like, none of that stuff is exciting Netrunner to 90% of the player pool. And I agree with that. And I wish there was less like that. I'm worried that we're just going to be throwing like crazy rocket launchers at each other, but I'm excited to see where this goes.
Yeah, I am too. Like the idea of win condition cards like that are underpowered now, things like you and I talked about before the stream, offer you can't refuse. Like, imagine if that was worth 2 points instead of 1. Like, already,
yeah, that's cool. Card. That's really, really cool. Sandberg, Helheim, Haymakers, Ugg. That actually is interesting, Giles, because they kind of reference specifically Helheim, Sandberg in a different way. But Heck Vamp is a Haymaker, Astro. Also, someone saying, oh my god, variants in my card game. I hear you. I know what you mean. But like, for what it's worth, like high competitive players don't, like, that's the sort of thing that rubs them the wrong way when people think like, I'm the best player, but I lost to variance. Like, that is, if there's too much variance in a card game like this, it is discouraging to competitive play to some extent. To some extent. That being said, 100% variance is really important to this game. Anyways, that's interesting. Does that mean we're going to see more cards like mid-seasons? Does that mean we're going to see more cards that you'd be like, I can't believe they printed this? Maybe that's exciting. Maybe that gives you things to play around. But as long as everybody gets those tools, maybe we're going from, I keep saying like League of Legends to Dota. I don't know if that is actually an average description anymore. In keeping games more interactive, we're looking to significantly decrease the power level of ice in the game, as well as wildly reduce ice complexity to help encourage earlier and more frequent running throughout an entire game. We have seen this. The power level of ice across Netrunner has gone up incredibly over time.
Yeah.
The power level of ice modernly, there is some ice that I think is so destructive to the game that costs the corp very little, and the punishment for face checks is game losing at sometimes. And I'm not talking about Brainstorm. And again, I never like playing Brainstorm decks because when the runner runs into Brainstorm and loses the game on turn 2 because they weren't expecting it in your NBN deck, nobody feels good. Maybe the Corp does, but only for a bit. I know I don't. And I think that's really bad. I think it's right. It discourages interactivity, and that's good. Now, cards like Anger and Flush are crazy. Like, they're just kind of buck wild. And I think we're going to see less stuff like that. And I think it's interesting as long as the ice does something like fascinating. Like, at a time, pop-up window used to be like a really relevant card. It wasn't incredibly like on its own powerful. You can always get through it. But people would consider running through a pop-up window for different reasons because money was really low in like fast advanced decks. I'm interested to see design like that as opposed to, oh, you ran into a Fairchild 3 on click 3 in this like NBN deck and now you've lost the game.
Yeah.
That being said, people love ice. People look at ice and be like, oh God, this Night Dancer is going to be so sick when someone runs into it. And then obviously it doesn't work. But like, ice being good is a really big thing to a lot of people. Like, people cracked open data packs and saw Janus and Shat. And at the end of the day, Janus works 1 in every 4 games, but you do remember those.
Yeah, 1 in every 4 times. It works every time.
Yeah, right?
But
I think this is
my
interesting.
thinking here is, like, if they decrease the power level of ice and decrease ice complexity, I just hope that there are still enough ways to make interesting new ice while also making sure that not all ice is a wall of text, like a lot of sci game ice is sometimes.
The wall of text comes up in the next thread, and like the idea of like reducing the amount of words on cards is like a really big deal. That is a really big point though, Pat, and I think that we do have faith here that can you make the game interesting without making like really nuanced hypertext cards. Oh my God, I got to open Doomtown DB to show you some of these cards. Holy shit, it's a fucking paragraph.
Also, like, we've heard some of the design decision coming from Ashes 1.5 with another game that eventually became like mini novels every time you play a card, and the design decisions there are like, no, we're going to scrap those cards, start over from the beginning, make them shorter, easier to read. And I hope Netrunner becomes more legible going forward.
Yeah, and I think that's a really big point. And we have seen to some extent that sort of stuff, like whether or not you like Rozeki, it's what's on the tin, and people like the design. Jake, hello, Climactic Showdown, fucking got him, dude. Yeah. Climactic Showdown is a very good example of that, I think, for sure. I've seen June's work enough now. Don't worry about Maui Chris. They know how to keep the flavor still going. I have no doubt. Like, I know that June has like quite a pedigree at card building, like game stuff. Like, I'm not worried. I'm excited. I think it's really interesting to talk about these changes, and I'm really glad that they're confident enough to be like, yo, this is what's happening. And again, playtesters aren't meant to talk, but I've heard positive things from playtesters, just abstractly very positive. So that's great. Okay, so Jake is saying Corp won't play ice if it doesn't do anything. That's always an issue, and obviously I think they have that in mind, but that's definitely something you have to keep in mind. We've seen that before. If ice is just not good enough, because classically at one point breakers were too good, people didn't play ice, and then if the best things in Netrunner play 0 ice, that's a kind of a problem. Can you point me towards a card that has a novel worth of text on it? Looking for some light reading before going to bed tonight. Oh, more cyberpunk in the game would be more appreciated. Yo, June didn't say this, but if you can make criminals do crimes again, sign me up. That's been my problem for years now. Criminals are just blue consoles. I don't get it. Climactic is a standout. Mind Game is a good read. Mind Game's a good read. Kushuk is a good read. What's the worst? I think Climactic Showdown is the worst, because I remember reading that when it spoiled and people didn't even understand how it worked still. Game Over? Yeah, Game Over is a bit of text as well. Yeah, Game Over does give you choices and options and stuff. Complete Image is also a bit of a text. That's conditions and stuff. Personal Workshop. Endless Eula. All right.
Endless Eula is a good one.
That's a really good one.
Personnel Workshop.
Yeah. IT department's, I think, is garbage design. I don't know. Most people miss the text on companions. Yeah, a lot of people do. And the fact that the companions all have different texts is also, like, I think in some ways thematic, but also like makes it a hell of a difficult time. If you ask me which each of the companions do when they overfill, I couldn't tell you. I still couldn't tell you. Slot plus the formatting on Jaina is a slog. Yeah, Slot Machine is such a lovely card, but you're right, it is just an absolute thing. Always have a backup plan. Yeah. There's a bunch that have too much text on it, I think, for what it's worth. But again, it's hard to design. It's really hard to design when all the inside job has already been printed, huh? All right, number 6. This has the add-on effect of being really helpful to new players learning the game. Ice that essentially GG the runner for face checking them completely discourages interaction while discouraging newer runners from interacting at all. When I build Netrunner teaching decks, I go out of my way to put in a lot of ice in there that if you face check, it's going to be medium bad. I don't put a brainstorm into a teaching player deck because that would be awful. You don't put a Janus in that because that would be awful. And I think
probably don't put a Nancy in there.
No, you don't, right? Like that would be awful. And I think that's such a big deal when learning Netrunner. Like I actually had a teaching game today. And the idea is like I put in like, okay, there's a swordsman in there. There's, of course, there's going to be a pop-up window. There's going to be an enigma. There's going to be an envelope. Like all these things that like, you know, you could consider breaking. You consider breaking part of it. But even if you run into a swordsman with 3 cards in hand to get the bank job, like you're fine. You're fine.
Yeah.
And I think that's a really big deal.
So sorry, go on.
No, that's it.
Well, I was going to say, if someone sees like neural katana maybe or an envelope, like they can let their imagination run wild. Like they can reason that, oh, something more expensive might do more net damage than this, and that's scary.
Yeah,
like they can figure that out on their own just from seeing those lower powered.
I think I was saying swordsman instead of neural katana. I meant neural katana. Neural katana has been in the deck the whole time.
Yeah, I figured.
Yeah, katana is the one. Yeah, and I think that's fine. I wouldn't actually put swordsman in because the whole AI clause doesn't make any sense. Komainu, for what it's worth, Komainu is like technically less lethal than SanSan, but it's at least an interesting design because it does build up hand size, which is kind of cool. But yeah, no, that's the idea. I would never in a teaching deck put in a card where if you face check, you lose, and that ice exists. And there are interactions where people do that. The thing though that what I don't fully understand is how that's going to work with cards like Hard Hitting News, because Hard Hitting News falls into that haymaker category. And sure, I get it. If a new player face checks into a Fairchild 3 too early without 3 clicks left, they can lose the game. But like you still have that problem with haymakers, right? I think scary ice for experienced players should still exist though. Sure, but like I think it should be scary and not like, I don't know, like hitting a drafter at a wrong time is really scary. Hitting a gatekeeper at a wrong time is really scary. Hitting a Hagen at the wrong time can be really scary. But like you don't lose the game. And I think that's more interesting. Cut the amount of text on cards by half. This mostly speaks for itself, but I'll say here that Netrunner is a wildly complex game for a pure rules perspective. Plenty of design space to work with that with writing novels of text for all cards we produce. Yeah, I think that's fine. I think that's okay. And I think you can still make this game has such good systems in it that I think you can make interesting things without writing a lot of text. That being said, I think it is much harder, but at least it'll be better when it shows up. Yo, this is wild. Retool the color pie and influence system a bit. Okay, so that's 2 things in a sentence, and I don't know whether she meant that as 2 separate things or whether they're the same thing, because that's interesting. Move influence away from covering weaknesses, and this in quotations like importing paperclip because your faction has no playable fractors, and more towards creative deck building synergy, importing tech trader into Haley or team sponsorship into NBN. And I think everyone's way more happy doing the bottom part there, where they like have a combo and they're like, oh, this works if I pull this in and pull this in. Like importing tech trader into Haley was a wild idea, and you know, for a long time, that was a really, really good thing to do. At some point, that was considered ludicrous. As opposed to like, exactly, like we just suck at fractors, so I'm going to have to pay the 3 credit tax. I'm really excited about that.
So do you think this means that like someone like the criminals are going to get better fractors? So
I would assume
they aren't just covering weaknesses with their influence?
I would assume so. I think there's no way around it. Either that, you lower the power level of all fractors, so like that criminal doesn't feel like they need to. But I don't know how else you do it. But hey, that first sentence is really interesting, right? Like retool the color pie and influence system a bit. So I don't know whether that means that they're going to retool how influence works, because I think that's pretty difficult to do, considering all cards have that on them, and you can't really rebake that in until like eventually there's only NISEI cards in rotation, which based on rotation schedule takes years, right? So I don't know if that actually is like one thing or 2 things. So that means focusing on faction strengths instead of ensuring inherent weaknesses. Yeah, that's actually a cool way to see it too. Like maybe you can just build a criminal without a fractor. I don't know. Play Crypsis, who knows? Give criminals ice destruction. Oh boy. Oh, I hope no. Maybe a criminal able to keep their econ cards legal. Oh, we can only hope. So getting rid of that ice that kills you. Don't know if I agree. You need the threat. Well, I think you need the threat, but I don't think it should be as catastrophic. Like, I think the point is, like, if a neural katana hits you, maybe that's a win condition associated with something else the corp can do. Like, maybe you're weak to a complete image, but I think just hitting the neural katana GG feels bad. If ice is weaker, you can get away with a subpar icebreaker as well. Yeah, I think that's a thing, but I think people are worried that if ice is too bad and breakers are too bad, people just stop playing ice. I don't know. Forge activation orders isn't in standard Solon. It rotated. I think this is the last one. Hopefully this gives folks a good overview of my design direction since I've joined NISEI and what sorts of initiatives I'm hoping are reflecting in the design of the cards and gateway. And the subsequent cycle you'll be hearing about, codenamed Bashes. So Bash is the next cycle. They've also talked about the cycle after that called Bell Tower. I think they also said there's a cycle after that. These are all just like code names. I don't know what they actually line up in any way. Bash is meant to be like B Ashes, I guess, because Ashes was the first one. And then Bijou is also a side project, which I don't know. It means kiss, right? Is Bijou kiss or a jewel? I forget.
I think it's jewel.
It's a jewel, right? Yeah. Cortex lock is way too undercosted for the potential threat is, and Anansi is too lethal even for its cost. Yes, but Anansi like gives you a choice, so like it'll never. It's basically a neural katana worth of damage. Cortex lock is like that's the idea that it's. But I've seen so many tournaments that you just die to Cortex lock. It's like oh yeah right Cortex lock I die and feels bad for 2 credits, doesn't it? Bijou's a jewel. Yeah, okay. Yeah. Bisou is a kiss. Okay. Yeah, thank you, Phil. Bisou is kiss, exactly. Okay, cool.
Yeah. I can see why Cortex lock is undercosted, or it costs so little.
Yeah.
Because like at a certain point in the game, it is worthless.
Yeah, exactly. But like 2 credits for a 4-strength sentry that can be lethal turn 1, like it's the sort of thing that if you don't know Cortex locks exist, like okay, if you're new to the game, you knowing Cortex lock and you not knowing Cortex lock increases your win rate by like a calculable percent.
That is true. Yeah.
Cortex's Pincel's signature move. You got to have something. Overall, I'm really excited for this. I'm excited to see some changes to this game. I have faith to see where this goes. I've heard really good stuff from playtesting. I know playtesters are not meant to talk. I've just heard abstract stuff. Like it's been great so far. They have a lot of stuff lined up. Like again, they're like 3.5 cycles in or whatever, which is fantastic if you're worried about the health of NISEI. And again, if you haven't seen a lot of NISEI doing stuff this year or last year, like besides like I think the organized play stuff has absolutely kicked it. I was gonna say kicked it out of the park. That's half of an expression. But like you haven't seen new cards, and like it's so cool to see what they're up to. And also I just love this so much, and NISEI's been doing such a better job with this than like FFG back in the day, is that whenever they release something, they do a good job talking about how they got there and what sort of things they ran into. Yeah. And I really value understanding the not only the intentions but the process behind most decisions. I think NISEI also had some tweets about stuff. What is Netrunner? That's not it. I want to put Twitter in here. Yeah, I think they retweeted this, but they also mentioned things about bashes in the future. Yeah. Last week we announced our new codename scheme. So after bashes is Bell Tower, then Piggy Bank. There's also a third project codenamed Bijou in the works as well. Third project is interesting because that doesn't sound like a cycle.
They don't call it a cycle or an expansion. They call it project.
Yeah, which is pretty interesting. I can't wait for y'all to see it. I'm excited. I'm really excited. I wish Cortex was capped at 3 damage, so it just kept the rules of ice intact. Yeah, but at that point, like, I think it's quick to say it power creeps on Neural Katana, but I don't think anyone has an issue with it. But yeah, if you put a max on there, that's probably fine. Exploring costs beyond simply credits would be interesting. I've said this before on the stream. I love deck building that like lets you reevaluate your resources in a meaningful way. That being said, Faust was a thing. But yeah, I agree with you. Probably a bit late to influence the outcome of the system gateway now, since it will come out in about a month. I actually don't know how much June was involved in system gateway. I have no doubt they were, because it's been slowed down to some extent, but it's meant to come out what, Q1, so worst case 40 days. It's pretty soon. Correct. While some have made it, not all. It's still very much a gradual thing. Sorry, Knuckle Guy, what was that in response to? There's a lot of room for innovative
probably response to how much of June's influence got into system gateway.
Oh yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, okay. Cool. Also, Subbing says there's a lot of room for innovative design. I'm pretty sure plenty of stuff we've seen thought of before. There was a time we didn't have side games. There was a time we didn't have trash costs in operation. So yeah, I'm hopeful. Yeah, and you also saw
the time we didn't have side games was the core set.
Yeah, you're right. Snowflake came up pretty fast. And then it was only Snowflake. Andre, are you gonna have a scoop stream? Yeah. Stream, no. Probably videos. I've been reached out. I don't know how much I can talk about this, but like, there's obviously Nisei's been really good with the community. People will have scoops. There'll be like a week. I think they talked about this before, but like media will have a week to do scoops. I think the media gets the scoops system gateway, while the core set will be entirely scooped by Nisei. So that will be coming again whenever the stuff comes out. Yeah, so we'll definitely be showing stuff off. I'm hoping Nisei emails us. I hope. But yeah, they said that the community will be doing gateway, and then Nisei will be doing whatever the system core is called, because I forget whatever they renamed it to. Everything sounds.
Yeah, there's gate. Yeah, I can't remember.
Jumpstart's the other one. Jumpstart is the big boy. The names are all blend together to me. I'm not a big fan of it. I guess we'll never get dashes. Oh my god, Snowflakes is amazing. Why no recurrence? Tempest, that was said a long time ago. Talking about why currents rotated. There's actually an article on it Nisei made when they talk about the most violent changes. But currents, I think, aren't really good fun. And the only way for currents to be good is to continue printing currents, because their power level is pretty directly tied into everyone else's access to currents to turn off currents off. So you can't half-ass that, unfortunately. Pat, you want to see the replay system?
Yeah, let's see it.
Okay. Syscore 19 system update. Is it system update? System update sounds right. Bring door to door back. Oh, Piquin, you don't make a lot of friends out there, do you? Your blue scoops vids were super fun. Yeah, Jazz, thank you. I also like Nisei did a really good job at picking cards that they thought I'd be excited about, and also cards that work well together. I'm hoping they keep that up. They've been doing a good job. Targeted marketing is a fair card. Yeah, I think targeted marketing is a fair card. And if you ask me, I think like targeted marketing could exist with the current text, and like maybe NBN could only have currents and they're all just like that. Like I'd be okay with that. I don't know.
It would be, yeah, that's an interesting idea. Only giving NBN currents and making sure they're at the right power level.
Yeah, like, you know, okay, but not good, because then New Angel Sol still exists, right? Okay, so not that we all have to save New Angel Sol or newfound, but like I'm fine if you just make an NBN thing. Maybe that makes it confusing, but who knows? Okay, so when you made a game, we hit stats and then we hit record the match, right?
Yeah.
When your opponent shows up, they see that, and they have to consent to it because you're gonna be able to see their deck. Then you go to stats. Last we saw, this was bugged, and the heroes they've already fixed it. This used to be scrambled. It's no longer scrambled. So these are the games that we recorded. So you remember Quetzal versus Sports Metal and Quetzal versus Wayland. Which one do you want to see?
Let's see the last one. Quetzal versus Wayland.
Okay, so you hit view log, and this opens a stats log. And this has been in here for a while now, but it basically records the log. It gives you the stats, which is really cool, and it contributes to your stat page or whatever. But check this out. Ooh, launch replay. That's a new button. It used to actually, this button didn't exist here last week. If you hit launch replay, and you don't need to hit launch replay, you can download the replay, which is a JSON file, and you can share it to people. Okay, so this just opens it, right? If I scroll down a bit, the fuck is this? This is so goddamn good. This is a timeline.
Oh, man. It's showing you, okay, wow.
So you can either go through every...
This isn't a video of your game.
No.
This is like a moment by moment, like snapshot.
This is forensic.
Like a zoetrope.
Yeah. It's so cool. So you can go through you see every click, you see every install. It's demarked here. Things like operations don't have their unique symbols here. They have just clicks. You see runs are like the emoji run person. But you can go through everything. It does show you your opponent's hand and deck. I don't think you can. Oh, you actually can see their deck in order. So again, we were playing around Snare. Fucking told you guys. I told you guys. But that's so cool that you can actually see like how you played mattered. So that's the consent thing actually is really important, because you do see their deck. But you can see click by click and you can review the tape. Now, Zandorius already has emailed me, what's it called? A replay, because you can share them super easily. They're JSON files. And once you have the JSON file, it is immortalized. You can have it forever. You can review it forever. So if you guys have any replays that you really want to go over, we can probably spend a stream, even maybe make a video where we go through it as like a kind of pseudo coaching thing. Maybe it's just entertaining. But like, if you want to be like, this is a good game, I'm new to the game, what can you tell us for feedback? It's so easy to go through this and say like, okay, what could we have done? What could we have done better? Yeah. It's so good. Even if they run snare, no reason to play around it, just dodge the snares. Yeah, and we did. We did somehow. But man, spectator view can see all. I think the runner view, corp view might be able to hide the other side's cards. What do you mean? How do you access that view? But yo, Pat, this is absolutely amazing. Like you can see everything.
Really cool.
You can go back in time. You can see like when we ran something. Like I just want to say at the end of the game, if we knew the hand, I think the hand was mouses, 3 scorch, snare. I mean, sorry, 3 scorch, seesaws, mouse. 100% accurate. So that we knew exactly what we were doing when we were running R&D there. And again, 3 agendas in a row, or it's actually 2 agendas into snares at some point. Like there's still 2 snares in there. We could have died at so many times in this game. Top ribbon. Oh, okay. Oh, wow. That's actually really good. So you can go to spectator view, corp view, runner view. So you can actually just do the corp view and it stops you from having a different information. It also shows you that player's background. So we now know that Tenet is a freelance player while we are.
You like the root?
Of course, the root. It's a classic.
I use Finding the Truth myself.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I don't even think
That's one of my favorites in Netrunner.
Yeah. I feel like this one's the least busy. I'm fond of it. I'd love to get feedback or discussion for the game, and it would be amazing to see the community build a catalog of annotated teaching games. Yeah, that'd be really cool. And I think it's a really good way to make content, to be able to go through it click by click and talk about what we think. Yeah. +1 for Find the Truth. It's very busy though. It's good art though. Mushin background gang. Mushin's good too because you can play on the actual table that they're playing on. Yeah, man, this is such a good feature. Lost Geek put this together in a weekend. I assume they've tuned it since because there were some bugs last week, but like this is such a big deal. Because not only this, like you can take worlds and games that are like, you know, it can be cataloged and archived in like a pretty good way, where you can actually click by click go through digital worlds and digital continentals, and we can have them on a website and look through every play and you can study it. Like that's so cool.
That's really cool.
Anywho, big fan.
Yeah,
10 out of 10. Go JNet, go. All right, man. It's 11:12. We were originally going to plan to go through some of the cards that rotated and build a deck from it. We don't have time to do that now, unless we can find an old Hollywood grid deck that's already
built. It's already built. Yeah.
Let's see if we can find it.
Let's see.
Set it to black when I'm sneaking games in the office. Yo, set it to like a Excel spreadsheet background, right?
Can you upload your own background? That's what we need.
You can do it with like some sort of CSS insert on Chrome, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, Rush, the Quetzal deck is actually pretty interesting. I just wanted, we thought we would do this. Okay, so this is we want to do by date, I guess, to some extent.
And we want tournament legal. Yes, that's what I have.
Defund Mel Gibson. Holy shit.
Okay.
Hollywood Game Net. This is probably playable. Earth Station Omega TH 1.0. I'm into this. I feel like we've seen all how we get. Okay, this has currents in it. How old did we go? Oh, January 2020. We still have currents.
When I searched for tournament legal, yes, I didn't get any result.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. Tournament legal tournament decks with that card in it seem like a very small overlap. I think we can start with this. 3 on the standard band list most recent. Okay, let's try yours and just remove some currents and see what we can get. The question is, do we play NBN or do we do Earth Station? Holy fuck, this is expensive.
I hadn't considered Earth Station. I mean, we don't want to spend time building a whole.
No. Okay. Well, we'll copy this. We'll copy this one. This one seems like a good start. We have to change like 4 cards, and unfortunately, one of them is the best barrier.
Yeah, but the reason we're doing this is because we're sort of celebrating the end of the removal of the SanSan cycle from the game, which is probably my favorite cycle in Netrunner.
Yeah, celebrating is probably like, it's the right word, but also like, oh man, SanSan's a good cycle. It's the first rotation where I'm actually going to be bummed about it.
Yeah, like I remember being so excited to like pick up new packs for SanSan specifically. Like I feel like Kampala is maybe my second favorite. Is Kampala the name of the cycle?
Katara.
Katara, yeah. Kampala Ascendant is the pack within.
Yeah.
Exactly. But yeah, like old Hollywood, for some reason, like it just inspired me constantly. Especially when when old Hollywood, the pack came out.
Yeah, it was really good.
We had like Harpsichord. We had the Harpsichord agendas.
I remember you recommending it pretty consistently for new players as like, this is a really good pack to pick up. And I think you're right.
Yeah.
You don't like Mumbad? Mumbad had some good packs in it. I just think the meta of Mumbad was bad, or not my favorite. Okay, so SSL has to go, so we have to play a 5-3 in here. What the fuck is a 5-3?
So we need a single 5-3.
Yeah, food. Food. We have
Food,
the influence, whatever, food. Okay, and now Gold Farmer is not a card anymore, so this represents a barrier. I think we can put 2 more IP blocks because if they trace through it, we get the credit. That's good. And then I don't know, Endless Eula, call it a day.
Yeah, sure.
All right, let's go.
All right, cool.
Don't even have to read what the deck does. Reverse account single. We don't have any tag punishment. I hope nobody in stream sees that. We do have an MCA in format. We do have a restore, which is for old Hollywood Grid. Also, we have Mumbad Virtual Tour. What the fuck?
Ooh. Huh.
Why?
To make them not trash old Hollywood Grid?
We get a credit. We get a credit when they trash this. No, we don't. We don't.
Okay.
Oh no, we spend the runner to lose a credit. I guess we do, right? Because our text made them spend credits.
Huh.
It's not a good card. I think Red Herrings is better. I think Red Herrings is way better than MVT.
Yeah.
But the idea is with old Hollywood Grid, they trash the grid and the Red Herrings anyways. So yeah, it seems anti-synergistic.
Do we still? No, I think that was in the Lunar Cycle 3-1 agenda that recycled a upgrader asset from the end.
No, I think that
must be Lunar Cycle.
License acquisition. I actually don't know. It might be I honestly don't know. Kind of sounds like a Mumbad asset spam thing. All that remains. Yeah, you're right. That's linear.
Vincent says SanSan is very cool thematically because it showed that the Android universe isn't all bleak and serious. There's spring break and beach parties and sports.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's one of the things I really liked about it. Like it wasn't a dystopia anymore.
No.
There are people who can still have fun. It's very bright and colorful.
It's focused on education. There was there's a lot of young runners. Sure, there was crime with the Muertos existed in there. There was body modification. Like there was like classic cyberpunk, but also there was like film studios and again, students playing future football on the beach. Like it was nice.
Like I liked that the Lunar Cycle explored a narrative. Like each pack was furthering a story of NISEI or whoever. Like,
do you remember the story though?
Yeah, well, yeah, it was someone trying to uncover an AI from the moon, right? And then SanSan was like, no, we're exploring a location, one district in that location at a time, and that was like it gave each pack like a lot of individual flavor. That was really cool.
Yeah, that was actually where the packs I think started becoming thematic. Oh, Sid, what up?
But I also love they don't have to leave 2/3 through the stream now.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of that.
I can just walk to bed.
But yeah, I think that's such a big deal. Ooh, Ice Destruction probably from Null. Sid was playing I think before the deck. It was like Null and then Hippo and Ice Destruction, Devil Charm, all that sort of stuff. Best of luck, have fun. But I forgot what I was gonna say. Yeah, the themed packs. This was the first time it showed up, and I think they killed it. Like Breaker Bay is such a fun pack. Whatever the one that you were just talking about, Hollywood was such a good pack as well.
Hollywood,
yeah. Okay, we got border control. We have a slot machine. We can maybe leave R&D open and die to medium, but then we can jam an early daily quest behind a border control. Don't feel that good about it. They parasite this pretty quickly, but this is a pretty good opening hand. Like I don't think we care if we lose this quota. I think we can keep this.
Yeah, this is fun. Sure.
Yeah. Also, some of the IDs that are rotating are some of the most powerful IDs in the game. Like we're losing Haley and Geist, for better or worse. Okay, just let me zoom in appropriately.
And Jiteki Biotech, which I feel like it never got the Jiteki Biotech
16 of Worlds,
but I didn't play with it enough. What was that?
It's top 16 of the Worlds, man. Top 8 of Worlds.
Top 16 of Worlds, yeah. That's true.
Also, Chronos Project, for what it's worth, is rotating, which means Complete Image is just trash, unfortunately. I think we're gonna. I don't like to put border control on HQ. I need this for the remote.
No,
so I think we do end up pushing. No, I think we just set up.
I'm pretty sure it was about NISEI trying to uncover an AI from the moon.
Yeah, NISEI with the lady with the 9 credits.
Rachel Beckman, yeah.
And then Aesop shows up because it's on the moon.
Did he? Oh yeah, because he has that trade-in card.
Yeah, well, Wildside's on the moon. Hey, you can play Complete Image in Hyobu? Yeah, right? I guess you can. My second favorite cycle thematically is Red Sand because Damon Stone was really able to add a lot of his unique perspective on civil rights issues through a fictional planet. I think at that point I stopped reading the inserts for some reason, but so much of that represented really fucking bad proofing with the cards.
Yeah.
Was Red Sand
Like
the
that was a very
yeah,
frustrating time to be a
that
fan.
was a super frustrating time to be a fan of Netrunner.
That was basically a 6-month period where I almost didn't play at all.
Yeah, there's some packs I think I didn't buy at the time. Okay, so we can res this to border control, and that's see it feels bad. So I guess we'll just keep the border control there. I don't know.
Without Chronos Project, it becomes incomplete image, says Paul. Okay. All right, we got jokes tonight. That's good.
Oh my god, of course. They just keep running this thing.
Oh, no.
They don't even have to trash it.
All right, we messed up.
We messed up, right? Because even if they don't trash it, we don't get the credits.
Yeah.
Nobody reads the text on this. That's so fucking funny. God, we look stupid. This is actually really bad.
Try this again.
No, we got this.
Yeah.
DRM? What did we DRM for? I don't even know what agenda's in the deck. Oh, okay, we'll get in with austerity, don't worry. They'll play a connection for sure.
Yeah, they have to. No, they might. What connections would they have?
I'm shaking my head, you can't see it. I have no idea.
Okay.
I'm still convinced that they're just because nobody plays null for any reason, so they have to be like triple hippo, triple parasite, data sucker. Yeah, exactly. Hive mind, medium. So we have to make sure that we don't die to that. So jamming this is actually kind of bad. We just want another piece of ice. Any piece of ice, we'll take it. Oh, Jesus, fuck.
I didn't really look through this deck before we put it together.
Yeah, me neither. That's okay. It's the 10-1 sketch, man. It can be really loose. They might play Caddy. I don't know, man. Caddy's really, really slow.
Was that our second reference to SNL tonight? That's kind of weird.
Second or third.
Okay.
Yeah, there you go. Devil Charm. We've played against this deck before, and I know Sid was talking about like this really mean deck they had, and it didn't perform in that matchup. So I think Sid has some revenge. But like the idea is that they get all the counters on probably Amakua, Hive Mind, the instant parasites, and they actually probably contaminate this thing over and over again. Yeah, this deck is spicy as fuck. I've played against it before. We just don't have good ice right now, which is a problem. Like if we have a single piece of ice, we can probably jam here and lose a parasite.
Yeah, no progenitor though, I think, right?
No, I don't think they want it because progenitor stops the contaminate from working.
How true.
We just need an ice here. Jesus fuck.
This deck did seem to have a lot of ice.
Yeah, it probably has like 17. Gotta do something. So if we advance this, they lose 4. If we don't advance it, they lose 3. It's always in our favor. Modded and Obcurie, okay. That's obviously a problem. Oh, my friend. That's 3 credits to trash this.
Jokes on
I need to check the deck list though, because if we have a they didn't trash it. Wow. If we have a sandbox, we got to get that quickly.
Single sandbox. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, the DRM is a pretty good card for this deck. I'm glad we have that.
We can
there's only
afford to
one
res
DRM in this deck.
Yeah.
I would have done 2 at least.
Yeah, I don't know.
Considering it's all one ice, but
now they're low on credits, so we can play hard hitting news. Yeah. Yeah, I guess so. I think we actually have to like slow purge. So this is up to. Oh, it's not up to. We can actually just goof on their economy. I think we just jammed the NGO front, which is obviously fucking toilet. Pardon my French.
I'd rather not talk about toilets one more time tonight.
That's...
At midnight, we can flip over to New Day and we can talk about toilets
again. We have a quota. Let's see what they do here. We hesitated there. That's a good look, right? That's like a, oh man, that's a Bologna, right? Because you're playing 3 Bolognas in your deck.
Sure, you joke, but I really miss playing in person. Like
in person, yeah.
Pretending that you're not sure what card you're putting down.
This is a newfangled parasite deck. It is
basically that.
Fangled, but like it's an overfangled parasite deck. This deck has like 12 parasites in it. They might have Tripano in there too. Like who the heck knows?
And that'd be fun. Hive-mind.
Free agendas. Oh, Turnpike, sick. Okay, so we're gonna leave R&D open and pray. Jesus, take the wheel.
Yep. Here we go. We're not so.
We should actually like end up. We should DRM for Sandbox so hard because they will start sweating.
Yeah.
I think we should have done it. I honestly think we should have DRM'd for a Sandbox. With 1 credit, Jesus, they would sweat. Yeah, we lost our window. We can remember that we can always like reverse accounts, click, pop, jam, some silliness. Start slowing the rev while they're on low credits. Yeah, there's a Parasite. They only have 2 credits. If we score this, it does nothing for us. I can't believe this isn't win scored and win stolen. I can't believe it. We just need more ice. We're playing a mass comms deck. This is the right play, trust me.
Yeah.
I don't think they're gonna use this much of the board. We'll take up the real estate. If we had a Hydra there, we'd still be bad. Like, we just want cheap ice that's gonna slow them down, because anything gets like double charmed. I don't know why a Parasite is in the bin, because I don't know if they can simulchip. Modded already, double boomerang, that's 6 influence. They're playing around the 4, right? I wonder if even we res this. We might actually just want to res this. I don't think there's any reason not to res it. Because it plays around Queen's Gambit. Not that we don't have an upgrade.
True.
Wait, what happened to border control? Wait, what happened to border control? Oh, they parasited it. Oh man, I didn't see that coming. We looked away for a second and they instant parasited the border control. You're totally right, Floofy. Thank you. Yeah, they instantly parasited with Hive Mind. That's why resing it was bad. Fucking where's the ice? We're like 100% gonna lose too.
Okay, let's just score out the Explodapalooza.
I don't want to.
Okay.
Because if they access it, we gain 5.
But then they're one.
This is what you want, right? Because they can't get the toll booth tax in. Parasite is not on encounter. I'm thinking of the other one. Do we just put Parasite on remote? No, we'll lose. We'll lose. Oh wow, wait, we put an all Hollywood grid on R&D.
There we go. It's not even unique.
No, it's not even. We can afford 10 credits.
Sure.
What is this? Okay. We'll do this play. Because right now they're playing around hard-hitting news, right? Like they don't want to interact until they can really interact. So getting an old Hollywood is grid is up because it'll be hard for them to play around reversed and obviously get their combo off and deal with the Hollywood. And this looks like a CVS sometimes, which is nice. We definitely want another piece of ice here. The Parasites come in at 2 strength, which is kind of a big deal, but we got some plays here.
I think we can take it.
4 strength even with null on encounter. Let alone double charm. This does take a click though, so we can't just like cheese them when they get up to 4. Jokes on them, we're playing Shank. Yeah, get them. Problem is, once we score the Explode, it looks like we're really playing an aggressive econ differential deck. So it's really going to scare them.
Yeah, that's true. We've got the mental advantage, the psychological advantage.
This card is like surprisingly different art for all the rest of Netrunner.
Explodapalooza?
Yeah, it makes it look like Explodapalooza is a cartoon in fiction. Fear is all we have. That's a spirit. Oh, there are 4. How are you going to spend your credits? It looks like Gorillas. Yeah, it kind of does, doesn't it?
Oh, yeah, a little bit.
I think Gorillas would be a bit more angular.
Noodly.
Yeah, noodly angular. Those are like oxymoronic.
Synonyms, basically.
Yeah, basically synonyms. It's supposed to be like a movie, yeah, but it looks like you'd assume it's an FMV movie, like a film. But yeah, in fiction, it looks like a cartoon. Reminds me of a scene in Watchmen. The one with the birds. What's a sensei? A sensei is a robot actor, if I'm not mistaken, like a biroid actor. Oh, what the?
I thought a sensei was like a movie that you basically plug directly into your hippocampus.
Yes, I think you're totally right. A sensei is actually, I'm not right about that. A sensei is like a 3D experiential movie, just kind of like a, what do they call them in Cyberpunk 2077? Dream walk or something. I feel like an old man.
Hippocampus wasn't the word. Like thalamus.
It's part of your brain.
The one about emotion.
Host dice is management strength for each virus counter. When you encounter a host dice, it has 0. Okay. It's when you encounter, so the toll booth will actually fire first. Actually, I don't know. I don't know which one fires first.
Their turn.
Yeah, but sometimes the when you encounter and while encounters are different. Brain dance, thank you.
I thought it was hippocampus. Hippocampus is more to do with memory, right?
Oh wait, what? Cannot install Hollywood Grid. Thank you. I meant to hit R&D.
Is this TRID in Shadowrun, which I guess is short for 3D?
How did I get 6 credits? Oh, because Liberated. Man, they're good at playing around this. Do we jam the NGO?
Why don't we DRM our cyber deck?
Because it's behind a turnpike. Does this deck of CVS? No. No, I'm like pretty confident it doesn't. No, it has virtual tours though, so we got that going for us. I'm mainly at the meta, like CVS right now is super in meta. The problem is like I don't even want to jam the NGO front because as soon as they find the old Hollywood grid, like the jig is up as much as they don't have money. And I don't want to purge because I think they just contaminate.
Right? Yeah. So I can't remember DRM how that works.
Do I res this? Because I don't want them to run it. I don't think they run. They probably can't play around old Hollywood this turn. No, they definitely can't. But that's the thing is like, oh, like we could have DRM'd this turn. I think you're right. We could have DRM'd this turn. I regret a lot. Yeah, now they have to take that down. Shadowrun was SimSense for the normal stuff and BTL better than life for the addictive SimSense. Oh, we just drew it. Okay, hold on. This would be beyond sick. You can DRM and fake out an NGO instead. Yeah, we could. But then if they see it's an NGO, they just smash HQ. So like we have a small window. Oh, this got up to 3. Oh, they're going in. It's happening.
Okay.
Okay, so we have to think here. When the runner encounters toll booth.
If they're going to trash the toll booth, it will be at 0 with null.
Yeah, do they lose 3 for this though? I think you're right. We can't afford to res it. The problem is like the Hollywood plus medium, like they just run back.
We have to make it cost them something, otherwise they just run back.
Yeah, I think we let them run back and then we get the purge.
Yeah.
What cost something here is nothing. Like it cost them nothing. It cost them literally nothing. We definitely res this though. This is a chance of getting us free advancements, I guess.
That would be great.
They don't lose counter from Hivemind? Yeah, they should. Program resource, almost. Wait, why won't they lose 3? Oh, they won't lose 3 from toll booth because of the order. Thank you, Phil. I see what you mean.
Okay, res Old Hollywood. And now let them read Old Hollywood. We'll give them a minute.
Trash for less than we spent. Get them. Oh man, this is why you have like maybe you actually shuffle back in this card with add to adjustment. It's so much better when they hit it from the deck. Ooh, Archangel.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do we bounce Hivemind here?
Yeah.
Or not cure.
Yeah.
Probably Hivemind.
That's a card. Okay, that's good. They can null this. It doesn't change anything. That's a huge got him. Yeah, we run that. That's a good card. I don't know why people don't run this card. They get a free counter when they install it. Yeah, they do get a free counter when they install it, but we're going to purge. But no matter what, we're going to bounce this if we can. They paid 6, of course. So now if they trash this, they'll be out no credits. I wonder if they contest this remote though. They don't have any breakers in their name. They don't trash it. Perfectly safe.
All right, R&D is basically ours now.
Yeah, I'm so worried they're gonna run the remote because I don't think we can keep them out.
No, we have Old Hollywood.
Oh, we have another Old Hollywood. Yeah, then we can't score out, but whatever. We look like heroes.
Yeah, the chat will respect.
Bounce Knob Kari? I would bounce Knob Kari if we can score this. I think you're right about that because the purge would be better. Oh my god, we're gonna get a purge? Oh, we could be heroes just for one day. Fuck you. One of in the deck. Shout out to Sid, the North American champion, currently reigning champion, and plays cool decks while doing it. What a hero. So like, do we just have a Bologna window? I think we have a Bologna window, but I think we do it next turn when we have just a wee bit more credits. Because their game plan is like totally gutted. I think we can even afford to put an Afshar here. Like we do Afshar credit. No, we can't do Afshar credit IPO. I think we just do credit IPO.
Credit IPO.
And then we have Bologna on top of this thing behind 2 OKIs. Yep. Holy shit, that's demoralizing. Yeah, that's like the biggest haymaker that June would be proud of, I hope. Oh, Imp? No, never mind, we lose. Oh no, I guess we have to purge, but we can't even DRM. The problem is like Knob Kari Imp, you can't unpurge it. Like they have the perfect combo to our stuff. Like they don't steal, they just trash agendas. So yeah, we lose. Don't you want to lock down centrals? I think we do. I think you're right. I think we do. I think we just ice this up.
We might as well try for Bologna, right?
No, we can't. We can't DRM because they ran HQ. And even if we get Bologna, they just imp the Bologna. Companion, not connection. Okay, so Afshar we generally want on HQ. It instantly dies to Parasite. The problem is then we're putting Archangel on Archives. I honestly would rather have the Archangel on HQ, I think. Oh, no, it doesn't matter. It dies to Devil Charm anyways. And they know all these cards. They have perfect information here. And then we'll purge hopefully next turn. But yeah, we want to lock them down. Just wish we had slightly better ice. This low strength ice isn't going to cut it. The Devil Charm, though, is going to be a problem for us. And that's our only reversed, which would have been good. And they haven't got punished so far for credit differential, so I don't think they're going to start here. I think we just
They are going to come out ahead of the though, unfortunately, because of daily casts. But no, they aren't, because we make money.
Yeah, we purge for it. That's pretty good, huh? But that's the problem now. Anytime they make a successful run on the server, Old Hollywood or not, they can just get an Imp Knob Kari counter. So like we really need a border control or something. Chisel immediately dies. Res Afshar, so they will basically commit a card. I'm okay trading 3 credits for a committed card.
Unless they just want to give it a token and run again.
Too bad the informant doesn't care about teddy bears or whatever Poema is. Poema's a digital companion, and she's an otter. Highbind plus 3 mediums contaminate seems like a fairly terrifying endgame. It is, yeah. We can easily lose to R&D. They imped our quest, so they have no counters to speak of. But there you go. That's a contaminate, and again, that's going to show up. And now they have good card draw. This is okay. I think we still have to just ice HQ. Well, we'll see if we draw something worse. Okay, I guess we ice HQ, and I don't actually want a hedge fund because I don't think we need the money, and I just want cards in hand. Ah, fuck. We're going to draw on last click. We look like idiots. And you can't put 2 Old Hollywood in the same thing. JNet won't even let you do it. You can't even try.
I think it's the Old Hollywood that might be making us look like idiots.
No, Old Hollywood makes us look like heroes.
No, you're right. Of course.
So they ran first click because they know this is a Fairchild 3. So unfortunately, this is going to die really soon. We're down 3 chisels. No, 2 chisels and a Parasite. So they have to click through this. Drawing last click is power drawing in my meta. Ken, your meta is so cool. I think we're going to start calling that power drawing. So they put the counter on Hive Mind, which means it's an imp counter. It gives you the most flexibility. We lost a hedge fund, which is actually what we would have played here. We don't have to purge, but we always could purge for 4. Now they're going to get free card draw, and the purge obviously doesn't do anything, so I don't think we do purge. Umamid Virtual Tour is interesting.
Put that on HQ?
I think so, but then we have to click for credit or something. The problem is like they imp the MVT unless they access hand first.
We should install border control before we lose it. That's a good point.
Before we lose it? Yeah, it's 1 in 4. The thing is, as soon as we res it, we have to pop it because they can do some shenanigans. For what it's worth, like this card would be so much better as price sec. Like price sec, tag, damage, and they have to pay 3 as opposed to pay 5. Like I'll take the price sec every day. I think Mumbad Virtual Tour is worse than price sec in almost all situations. Holy shit, I forgot we were game net. Have we ever fired?
I don't think so. Like we haven't been resing many.
No, ice has not fired.
Ice, so.
Okay, I guess we lose star R&D now. Yeah, we lose. Maybe slot machine. No, it hasn't triggered. It hasn't triggered once. Yo, Hawes, but every day? How's it going? What do you mean about every day? How are you doing, Hawes? I don't think slot machine fired. I think they pretty sure it didn't fire. I think they boomeranged the slot machine. Yeah, it got boomeranged. Yeah. Res toll booth seems like a problem if we do that. We go down to 4 credits and they trash it instantly with Devil Charm Chisel. We can't ever res this toll booth. It's as good as dead. Did the Archangel count? Oh, you're right. The Archangel would have counted.
Okay, that's something.
Yeah, we missed the Archangel. You're 100% right. I'm wanted to tune in and hang out for a bit since I have some free time. Yo, welcome, Halls. Anytime you want to drop by, we're very happy to have you. Congrats on 17 influence, Saul. That's fuck off. We're doing good here. All right, so this is going to get Devil Charmed, I reckon. They have another one in their hand, probably burning a hole in their pocket. Can you use CVS to save the card for now? I'm not sure I know what you mean. Wait, how did that die?
It died because they were already at 4.
Yeah, they nulled.
Yeah.
Yo, Shadow, what's up? Yeah, they did pay for Archangel. We did lose 1 credit. We should be on 13 credits right now. And we paid 3 for that. So I'll pay 2 for Archangel and GameNet. Sounds pretty good. If they don't break it with breakers, which they usually don't. Man, if our deck was actually 3 Archangels, we would be in a really good spot. And then we never install the Archangel. Rashida got trashed. I don't know if they're going to trash this thing. We're just going to lose on R&D so fucking hard. 15 cards left. We have no, like, our remote is so bad. What if we can draw an endless Eula so that it dies for immediately with a Parasite or a Chisel? Pay 6. We should concede, man. We have another Hollywood jokes on them. Yeah, they trashed it. I think we lose here. Yeah, GG.
Ooh.
Yeah, good game. The Paladin's going to goof him up, though. Got him.
Yep.
Now CVS to prevent medium? Yeah, we don't have CVS. Waiting for the runner to use Paladin Puemo. I think you trash the casts. Because Puemo is worth 3 credits and cast is worth 2. There you go.
For sure.
Ooh, a Sadaka. Pat, do we concede? We have no play here but Purge, and then R&D is open. I think we concede.
I think I don't think we are so much else.
Yeah, we have nothing.
Yep.
Good game. I got nothing. Yeah, we got nothing there. There's no way out of this. We basically have to install enough cheap ice, and unfortunately, like, we didn't draw enough good ice. I think we just wanted like slot machines and IP blocks on R&D. Committing the toll booth obviously is probably a mistake. I think we want our better ice on server 1. IP block on R&D hurts. Yeah, I have none. Man, don't got those.
We do have IP blocks in the deck, right?
Nah, you win in 1. And my old Hollywoods do nothing against Knob Imp. Yeah, there's no way around that. We probably could have played it out more, but I think our chance of winning are so slow. Like, what are we going to do? Jam behind IP block Turnpike? Old Hollywood does nothing. And our deck is built around this, right? Anytime they run Knob Curie Imp, that's all good. Oh, no worries.
Old Hollywood does something if they have the space and the tools to run twice in 1 turn. They don't definitely do.
No, but they just imp the agenda.
Oh, they just imp the agenda. Yeah, right. Yeah.
Yeah, that's why Old Hollywood does nothing in this matchup, right? They can't steal it, but they just imp the agenda, and then they just don't have to run it again. And I don't even think we have any way to shuffle from our archives, but not that that's a winning play. That's just not a not losing play. Thanks for the game, eh? Yeah, meme deck. Imp is the only weakness to this whole deck. Besides, like, by any means or whatever. I think Imp is, like, straight up the only weakness to Old Hollywood Grid, as opposed to, like, running twice. Yeah, bummer. Old Hollywood Grid is just about this good. That being said, we actually had a pretty good start. I think we should have not scored the Explodapalooza because it's abysmal for our tempo. We definitely should have DRM'd in a better agenda, and we probably should have put this in the deck, and maybe it would have given us 5 credits. But we just didn't draw enough ice. We didn't draw enough ice in the right order, and then pre-resing the border control. Our turn 1 also, I think we fucked up pretty catastrophically, so that's bad. The old Metropole Grid deck building curse. Play your hardest counter the first time taking the deck out for a game. I know, right? And then you never play the deck again because, again, once burnt, twice scared, or again that. Yo, that reverse cancel horrible. Yo, Sid, good game. We had no tag punishment. We just put it there to be annoying. Maybe we should have iced it up with 1, but again, I think you saw every single ice we drew, and you have a toll booth with the instant dead on it on R&D, so we can't even res that. It was very annoying. Yeah, you're playing around it pretty well. It's the best play we had at that point. But I think you just bite the bullet and trash it after we advance it once, right? Maybe we should have also just popped it, but it was really goofing away the way that you played, which was, you know, worth it. Got slaughtered, with Lauder being the highlight, or Ottered being the highlight. Oh, the Otter got slaughtered.
Because of Puemo, yeah.
I get it. All right. It's 11:45. We made it to 10 to 1 or 10 to midnight, whatever. Thanks for the game. Yo, Sid, you too. Thanks for the game, eh? That's it for this week. It's been fun. Got some good tweets to read. The decklist of the week was pretty fun. I think you can definitely tune it even better than what we have it. I think there's definitely a good middle ground somewhere that you can figure out. It's interesting to see if you could win before you lose when you run out of cards. Also, you can see how many people put Cyberdeck Sandbox and CVS in their deck. I think it's every single deck we played against tonight. Every single deck. And again, medium is everywhere. Parasite, I think, is less common, but I don't know. I think medium seems more fun. I've said this before. I want to do an FAQ stream sometime soon. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to leave them in YouTube comments or send me an email. That's metropolegrid@gmail.com. And we'll do I'll announce a day that we'll do an FAQ stream. Maybe we'll do it sometime right around Gateway, so we can get like new player questions, that stuff out of the way. We want to do some tutorial content. Also, the replay system works really well on JNet. We talked about it last week and this week. If you want to throw some JSON files my way to go over replays, as long as you have consent from yourself, obviously, and your team, your opponent, we might go through a couple of those on stream, depending on what we got. I know we have at least one, so I'm excited to go through that. That's largely it, Pat. What's on your front?
I had a good time.
Oh, nice. That's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, well, it was really for my own amusement, this whole stream. I'm glad everyone else could enjoy it, but
we do this mostly for you, you know.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I mean, it is just 4 months until my birthday, so.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you think of it as 4 streams till your birthday?
Yes, exactly. 4 more streams.
Yeah.
And then it's my special day.
The time just flies when you think of it like that. Right on. Cheers to stream. Have a rad weekend, everyone. Jazz, have a rad weekend as well. Zendorius, good stream. Thank you. Hey, cheers. We'll see you next week, hopefully. May the force be with you, Vincent, as well. Thanks for stream. We'll be back in a week. Take care, y'all. Good games to everyone we played against, everybody hanging out in chat, everyone watching the VOD. Hopefully you're taking care of yourself, staying warm in this cold winter up here. Stay indoors if you need to, and we'll get through this all right. Have a good night.
Have a good night, everybody.
Ciao.